Welcome back to Numbers on the Board.
Numbers on the board, yes!
I cannot believe that we are here, ladies and gentlemen. It's a couple days before training camp, and big things are happening, man. It's no longer the offseason.
Yeah.
We here.
That was the turning point right there, that trade.
Man, Pierre is full Knicksed out. Derrick is dressed like Anthony Edwards. This is the perfect podcast, man.
Anthony Edwards on the red carpet.
Anthony Edwards on the red carpet for sure. But I think he wore this exact outfit when we interviewed him.
He probably did.
This exact outfit.
This is when we got the outfit.
Yeah.
We had to wear Adidas stuff too, remember?
Yeah, we did.
And no, I had a different pair of shoes, but I feel like
you
a
bought
couple
some
of us had
Yeezys.
the same pair of shoes on because we just had to put on some shit.
They definitely laced us with the gear.
Man,
I just gave
still
some of
wearing
that.
some of mine.
I just gave some of that stuff away to my younger brother that had the tags on because it was that much stuff that
Yeah,
I
it was
never
a lot.
got to that.
And boom, they hit us back up with the Dame. So shout out to Team
Shout out to
Three
Adidas.
Stripes.
Shout out
man.
to Adidas.
Be sure to leave a like on the episode. Subscribe to the channel. We got to get into it, man. We got to get into it. 9:30. I'm about to put the kid to bed. I get a notification, and it's are we calling them sham wows? I don't know if there's a real official name for it. It's not a
Somebody
Woes
tagged.
mom no more.
I just seen it, and somebody also DM'd me like the tweet of it. They're calling it a Shamber alert.
I saw that.
That's
too.
not bad. That's not bad.
That's funny that
Let's
someone
workshop it.
DM'd you
That's
to
not too bad.
trade.
They didn't DM me the trade. They
Oh.
DM'd me the comment that somebody said Shamber alert, but
Okay.
I already kind of seen it.
Shamber
or
alert.
Shamber alert.
Starts off, and it's the Knicks are nearing a trade to get Karl-Anthony Towns. Whoa.
No details, just that.
What could that mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
You
if
knew what
just
that meant.
deductive reasoning, you understood that
Yeah.
Julius Randle had to be in it. But it was like, okay, what else? Is there more draft capital? Who else is in it? And it ends up being Donte DiVincenzo in the first, and then DeQuan Jeffries and some other draft capital goes to the Charlotte Hornets, who get in and make the money match. The Charlotte Hornets have done it like 3 times this offseason, by
Shout
the
out
way.
to them.
Just
getting
helping
in,
people out.
Helping people out. The Reggie Jackson trade.
Yeah,
so
they'll
on
come
and so
back
forth.
around and they'll get helped
Mhm.
out.
Before this, how did everybody? Because you said you kind of like you're about to put your daughter to bed and everything like that. I was literally like watching a stream. I was watching Devin's stream, and somebody came in. It was Momento came in the chat. He said, "Cat to the Knicks." And anytime I see something in like a Twitch chat or anything, like I just gotta fact check it because I'm not gonna just believe it.
Right.
And it was the first thing that popped up, and I was like, "We actually got something."
We got something to do. We got something to talk about. September 27, 2023, what happened, Derrick? Last year, the exact day.
Is that the Dame trade?
Dame got traded a couple days before training camp.
My boy, he got those spidey senses. Those spidey senses. I was
He
playing the
got the
game.
date tattooed on him.
He do.
Oh, right. On his
And then the eventual
left
Larry
cheek.
O'Brien for the
Yep.
Bucks.
and that's the right cheek.
Yeah.
I was playing the game. Not really playing, but I've been doing a Clipper series. And I was just doing some things like, man, I'm trying to figure out a rotation or who we should trade for, just casually just doing something. And Darrick is like, P. I'm like, what's up? He like, you on your phone? I said, nah. He said, don't check your phone. Don't check your phone. I said, okay, what's going on? He said, he's going so slow about it though. He would have been able to accomplish whatever he was trying to accomplish if he just spilled the beans or whatever. But he's talking like, all right, I just want to see your head up. Just don't touch your phone. I'm like, okay. All right, don't touch your phone. You ain't looking at your phone, right?
The way you were describing it, like in the Discord last night, it definitely felt like you didn't know where he was going.
I didn't know
with it
where
at
he was
all.
going. But he took so long. I said, man, I'm checking my phone. And as soon as I made eye contact with my phone and it opened, it said Karl-Anthony Towns, Knicks. And then I clicked on it and it showed me the whole details. And I told Darrick, I'm gone, about to record this video. I'll be back.
I was
So
about
that's
to
how I
ask
found
you,
out.
what do you think a package of Julius Randle and Donte DiVincenzo would get you?
Yeah,
If you as a Knicks fan, what would you want?
yeah,
in
you
return?
took so long to say that one sentence.
I know, I did.
You took so long because I was trying to let you have your. I wasn't gonna check my phone.
That's
but
not
he
a bad
kept-
exercise either, though.
He kept going, and I'm like, I gotta check, bro. I gotta check. But yeah, man. Love these type of trades at this type of time because Lord knows that we've been needing and wanting something. So shout out to the NBA, 2 back-to-back years. Karl-Anthony Towns, love to acquire him. We just ranked the power forwards. I think all of us talk highly about Cat from, buying into what the Timberwolves was doing, playing a 4 next to Rudy. I think it's even tremendous on how well he has handled them transitioning from it being his franchise and his team to Anthony Edwards' team or whatever. Going through a lot. We talked about him being hurt and jumping into the playoffs, the efficiency, the shooting, everything. We know what we're getting with Cat. And on the flip side, what a lot of people have said to me personally, and that I've seen reacting to the trade, that I want to speak on real quickly. I love Donte DiVincenzo. I think all Knicks fans love Donte DiVincenzo. I think the organization loved Donte DiVincenzo, and nobody wanted to trade Donte DiVincenzo. But when we talk about a talent like Karl-Anthony Towns, after the offseason we just had, I don't understand why people is talking about Donte DiVincenzo.
I think that it has a lot to do with the moments of last season. I think that fans, for good reason, become attached to players, especially a player that's on a team-friendly deal and I want to say got it through the mud, but like Donte DiVincenzo is a role player. Then the playoffs, he had a 30-point game. He had a game winner for the Knicks. So you get that type of attachment for a player. But I don't mind it as much, and he was your best shooter too. Because on this roster, let's say you went into the season with the roster that was there 2 days ago. He's getting like 20-something minutes a game.
That's why
they
you
have
can't
so
blame
many
him.
wings over there. He occasionally can bring the ball up the court, but you're not using him as a backup point guard. So, I mean, Ian Begley even tweeted about it.
Which I told y'all last night.
That he wasn't necessarily happy about his potential role with the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
Rightfully so,
He was
by the
coming
way.
off a career year.
Rightfully so. This is the other world of the NBA that people don't think about. Like, this doesn't make Donte DiVincenzo a bad person or a selfish player. But if you had a career year with those moments and you acquire Mikal Bridges, you know what I'm saying? It's looking like your minutes is going to go down. Rightfully so. Donte DiVincenzo ain't a max player either. So it ain't like he's like, oh, I got my bag.
Yeah.
You know, OG Anunoby's thought process, we got Cat, we got Mikal, but I got my bag, so I'm going to be straight. So, I mean, this is the life of a guy that's a role player.
Here's the exact quote. DiVincenzo is probably coming off the bench this season. Bridges would have likely taken his spot in the starting lineup. I can say confidently that DiVincenzo didn't exactly love the idea of fewer minutes / a reduced role this season. He was coming off a career year and helped the team win a ton of games when they were shorthanded.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that mindset, especially when you're talking about, like P said, he ain't got the long bag security of an OG Anunoby or something like that. So, like, he still got a family to feed. He still got to continue getting those checks coming in. He got to go out there and play. When you go to a reduced role, your numbers drop and all that drop. So now you ain't got the leverage in all your negotiations because they going to go based off recency, and you ain't really got much.
So his current contract is through the end of the 2027 season, $12.5 million in that last year, $11.4 this year, and $11.9 next year. So again, very team-friendly contract. He's got a few more years left on it. I mean, when he goes to the Minnesota Timberwolves, there's a world early on where he does start because Julius Randle probably won't be ready for the season openers from what reports are saying. So there could be a world where they go with the smaller ball lineup and allow Rudy Gobert to be the true five on that team, where it's Conley and Donte DiVincenzo, McDaniels, Rudy Gobert. But I can also see the argument of just let Naz Reid start because he's also amazing at basketball.
Please.
But I think his role is going to be reduced regardless
it's
of
gonna
which of the
probably
two teams
be-
he's on.
Might get some more minutes, but it's probably going to be around the same thing.
But yeah,
They
he
are
can
gonna
still
need
have his moments too.
They're going to need his shooting. Though.
I mean, he's definitely going to close out a lot of games.
They're
going to
need the
regardless.
shooting for
Yeah.
him.
And I
'cause they
think
wanna
they're
space it.
they're trying to from this. I don't like the trade for Minnesota. Does anybody like the trade for Minnesota?
I don't either.
Okay, cool.
Don't like it, but we understand it.
I understand it because the ownership group has never paid this much money before, and we knew it was inevitable. We told Derrick 2 years ago it felt like that Karl-Anthony Towns was inevitably going to get traded.
We told him recently, too.
Over and over
Somebody
again.
tweeted me that, ironically, we was talking about lifers,
Mm-hmm.
and you said Cat potentially, and then they said that I replied, well, unfortunately, that's not up to him. That's literally what somebody tweeted me last night. Like, y'all just, and I was like, oh, I did not remember that because we do so much stuff, but
Uncle Mike is going to be 37 at the start of the season. They drafted a 19-year-old point guard as well this year. I think this is a world where they're trying to usher in the Anthony Edwards full-time one while Mike Conley is on his decline and while Rob Dillingham is on his way up. So there could be a lot of items where it is Donte and Ant together with McDaniels, Nas, and then Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, and they're good enough to make that work regardless to the regular season too. Until Mike, I was about to say Uncle Mike Conley comes back and they just get healthy. But
you just named a lineup that don't got Julius Randle.
I was talking about start of the
Until he
season
gets back.
until Julius
Okay.
Randle comes back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Can you talk about what it looks like when Julius Randle was back and healthy?
it looks nasty.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way I can describe it. I mean, it took the Karl-Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert thing a year to look
It
good,
did.
and that's with the great spacing. So I
Mhm.
can't imagine, like, there was a report from John Krasinski. Is that the guy for the Minnesota
I think
Timberwolves?
that's how you pronounce his name.
I always, those names
it's
get
Chris
kind of
something.
interesting.
It's Chris something.
regardless, he was talking about how in their mind with Minnesota, this increases the playoff window of the Minnesota Timberwolves. And I think that's true. Really, Julius Randle's still a really good basketball player. This
No doubt
team
about it.
should be a playoff team.
Yep.
But it also limits that ceiling that we thought they could have.
Yeah.
Last year, they were legitimate contenders. They were in
Yes.
the conference finals and ran out of gas.
And I had
I
to come
don't
back
think
in
they
there.
have that with Julius Randle on the roster.
It seems very easy to scheme against when you're talking about playoff time and like Julius Randle has shown he's not even a playoff riser. He hasn't had a great playoff series this entire career. So I just think one thing that they miss now, all three bigs at one point was always able to play together and had this great cohesiveness and this fit. Now when you look at that starting lineup of Julius and Rudy, it just looks so nasty on paper. Like, and it's kind of hard to even say bring Julius off the bench and put in Nas, but like, for me personally, as the head coach, if I'm Chris Finch, that's just my best fit to start off games. I don't want to start off slow all the time, maybe with Julius at the forward next to Rudy, because then teams are that's just so much. They just gonna pack the paint on Ant.
I feel like you're moving a little too fast. Like even the cat thing, we knew it was gonna probably be ugly to start off with. I'm not saying it's gonna be the perfect thing, but like they can still make it work. One thing I did like though was the Chris Finch thing. How they said he did have a connection with Julius Randle back in New Orleans when he was there, and obviously Julius Randle kind of popped off in New Orleans, and maybe that was a little bit of a connection there. So maybe he could bring something a little bit different out of Julius Randle, or maybe just get him playing back at his kind of like near full potential.
I'm not mad. I guess I don't hate the Julius. I don't love the Julius Randle fit, but I think because they are such talented players, they'll be able to make it work to again win a bunch of regular
That's how
season
I feel.
games.
Yeah.
I just think it just limits their ceiling as far as being a championship contender, especially as Ant continue to rise and you basically stump it. You just stump it, and it's frustrating because Minnesota's really been contenders 2 years in their franchise's history. You got the 1 year with KG, and then last year, and now it's like, all right, we did that. Now we're okay with winning 47 games every single season and get into the second round and maybe making another conference finals, but never winning a championship. Julius Randle's been ass in the playoffs. Like one of the times. He dealt with a real injury. Like I give him
the first one when D Rose had to come in and get it cracking.
We'll talk about D Rose later, but I get him the pass there. But for the most part, like people talk about Karl-Anthony Towns' playoff resume, and it ain't amazing, but it's leagues ahead of what Julius Randle has been in his playoff career. I mean, we do have a Game 7 of Karl-Anthony Towns being basically phenomenal against the Denver Nuggets. Like, I just hate it. It's all like, I don't know, frugalness from the ownership group. And Minnesota Timberwolves were mad at me. Minnesota Timberwolves fans were mad at me when I told them when they got eliminated from the playoffs, they're going to have to make the decision either this year or next year. And they're like, no, man, they can afford to be this. They said that he said that he's not selling the team because Alex Rodriguez was going to be the one to make the Karl-Anthony Towns straight. Didn't matter. It happened. We saw Karl-Anthony Towns grow up with the Timberwolves. He came into the league, he had these big-ass feet, and he was clumsy as hell, and then he turned himself to an all-NBA player. He's gone through 2 different rebuilds, and the 1 year that they were contenders, they said, thank you, but we shipping your ass away. That's the business,
What
and it
else
sucks.
did they have to trade? They weren't trading Anthony Edwards. Rudy Gobert, I feel
Jaden
like they'd rather
McDaniels.
keep him. Jaden McDaniels, I think he's on the side of like, we'd rather keep Jaden
Yeah,
at this
Well,
point. than cut.
clearly, but I'm just you
Yeah.
asked what else did they have to trade? The things that they had to trade was Jaden McDaniels or Karl-Anthony Towns.
It's one of the two, especially because Jaden McDaniels' contract is huge and it starts this season. Again, it was inevitable. I don't mind them trading Cat. It sucks. It's part of the business. I just don't like what they get back, man.
I don't like what they got back, and I think you also made a good point. Like we talked about this since they signed Jaden McDaniels to the contract that this was going to happen, and then they signed Nas Reed. We knew that it was going to happen, but I thought it would be prolonged because of the success that you had. Like even today, I woke up and it was a Twitter account. I mean, not Twitter account, it's the Instagram account that I'll figure out later, where we was going back and forth because I had commented on it because he had a mock trade of like Durant going to the Timberwolves and Cat being traded or something like that, and Hoops Empire, and the trade was Kevin Durant going to. This is when the playoffs.
First of all,
ended.
after they ended, right?
Yeah, this is months ago. But
it still makes me mad because it's another Kevin Durant situation where he got his ass buzzed and he went to the team.
That's true.
So I don't like
but
that
I
one.
commented on it and
Yeah.
said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And like thousands of people liked it, and you know what I'm saying, almost 3,000 people liked it, and they was kind of going at him for mocking the trade up. And my point wasn't that. And today he said something like, "Well," and I'm like, "Hey, if it's the Knicks, then I don't mind it." But when you have that much success, because I thought this team was going right back to that level of success. I thought they were potentially would go right back to the Western Conference Finals, probably them versus Thunder, just to start the season. And I thought they were going to have a really good chance to be one of the top teams out West. And again, the trade has to happen, but I would see, because if you could do this trade, I mean, if you undo this trade and you do this again, and they for some reason go to the finals or win the finals or whatever, however you want to picture it, then all of the money that you're paying becomes worth it. You don't, it doesn't matter. Or even if you still have to trade it, it's like, hey, we traded. But to do it coming off that season and to not give it another chance, it just sucks for the fan base, man. It
I thought
sucks
for
the
sure it
fan
was going
base.
to be one more year.
Me too.
At least
it was
one
going to
more,
be
right?
one more. Like you don't get so close and then just pull the trigger.
This is the most success their franchise has ever had, bro.
Yeah,
You
the
think
most
they were like-
exciting Minnesota's been.
We see OKC getting better. Obviously, we know like the teams around them, they see them picking up pieces. They're like, we're kind of forced to do something at this point.
No, because I honestly think that if they stood put, they would still a contender, even
too.
against
Yeah,
OKC, against Dallas, who made some adjustments. Like, we all agree, Anthony Edwards is a dog, and he shouldn't do anything but be better next season. His fit with Rudy Gobert should do nothing but be better next season. I don't think it had anything to do with the 7 surrounding teams. It had more to do with them just getting frugal, not wanting to pay all of that money.
Yeah,
That
'cause
would
I don't
make
even
more
look at that trade and think they got better.
Yeah, because they save about $10 million next season. And then they have more financial flexibility because Julius Randle's on the last year of his deal with the player option. And then Donte DiVincenzo, again, is making $11 million. So it's like they're cheaper today than they were yesterday, and they'll be cheaper next year than they would have been next year because Karl-Anthony Towns is the 8th most expensive player in all of basketball. So it's like it's all financial, and it does allow them to have more wiggle room, sure, but wiggle room don't mean a damn thing if your team is not winning.
And that wiggle room is going to be to try to find a piece to get you back where you just were.
And Julius Randle now has like all the leverage in the world, by the way.
Yeah.
You give me this money, or I'll just walk in free agency. The Brooklyn Nets have a ton of. It's like 7 teams that could use a Julius Randle, and if I just walked and you traded away one of the 3 to 2 best players in your franchise's history for Donte DiVincenzo, so pay me my money right now. And then what are you doing? You're back in the goddamn position you were just in with Karl-Anthony Towns.
And then
you're back super expensive.
It sucks for Donte DiVincenzo because I feel him with the minutes thing, but like that was so circumstantial and like situational due to injuries and different things last year. And granted, he did step up, but it's like that's just how the NBA is, man. Like you can do everything that they ask of you. We've heard the story so many times, but you do everything that you're supposed to do, and it's still like, nah, you ain't a starter. You know what I'm saying? And it sucks, but
That's why
I think you made a good point earlier when you spoke on the mic of like, even him going to the Timberwolves, it's like the reality is Donte DiVincenzo, I hate to say it like this because it's going to come off bad, but you prefer to have him as like a depth off the bench. If Donte DiVincenzo is coming off the bench for you,
You're in a
feeling
really
good.
good spot.
Yeah, you feeling
that
better
was
than him starting.
why we was talking about the Knicks. I mean, even with the trades, it's like they got depth because the same people that was just like
Starting for us.
starting in the
bench.
playoffs, they just coming off the bench now.
Yeah.
I actually like the depth of the Timberwolves, though. If there's one thing, it's that depth. Like, I'm way more excited about Donte DiVincenzo being on the Wolves than I am about Julius Randle. Having him, as long as he stays that 40% three-point shooter on that, their depth chart looking like this. Starting lineup is Mike Conley, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Julius Randle, Rudy Gobert. I think we can all agree when everybody's healthy, that is a lineup they're going to run. Then they have like Rob Dillingham, Donte DiVincenzo, Joe Ingles, who was okay last season. He can't move anymore, but he still has a really good connection. Rudy Gobert is a pick and roll player, and he shot 40-something% from 3. Then Naz Reid, but also I kind of like Leonard Miller, and he should actually be able to play this season.
I don't
I
know.
hope so.
I thought so, but now that they done made
I
this
hope y'all
trade-
remember when I drew that trade up for the Timberwolves to get Joe Ingles because I said about that connection.
Like
And they
3
needed
years
more
ago.
shooting. No, it was
2
like
years
Where
ago.
does Leonard
this
Miller
when he was on the
play?
Magic. So
Oh,
it was
okay.
basically yes,
Yeah,
last
because they
year.
still do have a front court of three
Four.
people four that play his position.
Where you get 4 at?
Yeah,
Because
actually, no.
Rudy is a front court player.
Mm-hmm.
Julius
Julius,
Randle,
Nas.
Nas, and you said that they may do the small ball thing with McDaniels.
Oh, I guess so.
Oh,
I guess so.
I didn't consider Jaden McDaniels someone taking minutes from him. I was just considering the Nas, Rudy, and Julius Randle.
I guess we'll see.
Nas also plays both spots.
Also, I didn't mention Nikhil Alexander-Walker's name in there either for some reason.
Yeah.
They have him as a third. He's not a third stringer. But there's a lineup where it's like Nikhil Alexander-Walker, Donte DiVincenzo, Joe Ingles, Naz Reid, and whatever.
Joe Ingles may play a 4. I don't know.
Yeah.
Small ball
I
4,
don't
man.
sound too good.
Those legs don't. They
Then
move
how-
in
then
that
Them puppies not
Then where,
moving like
where
they
does his
used
minutes
to.
go then?
Who's
Probably
minutes?
some-
Joe Ingles.
Joe
Minutes
Ingles.
at the 3.
You have Nikhil Alexander-Walker's going to play there. You have Rob Dillingham.
Yeah, I think he
and then you
takes
have Donte
some of
DiVincenzo.
what the Kyle Anderson minutes were,
Yeah.
basically.
That might be 4, yeah.
They also got Terrence Shannon Jr., who might not play as a rookie, but he looked damn good in summer league. He's like 27 years old as a rookie, basically. So who knows if he'll bust into the
they'll have
lineup.
some games where he could get in just because they just dominated.
Yeah.
But then those minutes should go to Leonard Miller.
Throw them all in.
Let's talk about the other side of it, because we talked a lot about the Minnesota Timberwolves and how much we dislike it. Let's talk about the New York Knicks. Leon Rose has done a lot
Again.
this offseason. Like,
He's done.
I thought it was going to be hard to top the offseason that they had, and then they came out and they just kept going. I thought OKC had the best offseason.
this is
Now it's the Knicks.
This is the most we've seen the Knicks go for it competently in our life. Like, they've gone for it before in our
It's
life.
always been like Knicks trying to pursue Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and then they end up with nothing like that.
Last
Julius
year,
Randle.
and that's one thing you got. Julius Randle held it down when they were missing out on those top
yes,
end
he
talents.
did.
So shout out to Julius.
I went to a whole 10-minute spiel about Julius Randle and the love he deserved, because when we had nothing, he came in and saved the day. You know, not too long ago, say this with all respect, we were looking to Marcus Morris to carry us to wins.
Oh,
You understand where we come from, Mike?
I do.
Do you understand that? I say this with all due respect.
You know who I
Kyle
was just talking
O'Quinn was
to
starting
yesterday,
center
right?
for us. You understand Kyle O'Quinn? I was watching
You
games
know who I
where
was
Kyle
talking to
O'Quinn was
yesterday?
starting.
I was talking to A Boogs. He's like, Mike, see, I remember the days had Alfred Payton out there. Now
Alfred Payton.
Oh, man.
Emmanuel Mudiay.
Emmanuel Mudiay.
Mario Hazonia.
Yeah.
Hey, if you was a lottery pick and it ain't pop off, your first team, come to New York.
Noah
Did y'all,
Vonleh.
did y'all
Noah
see
Vonleh.
that Giannis interview with Brody? Soho Brody?
I've seen a little bit, like the standing communication.
Yeah,
the
it was-
highlight.
It was like Brody had asked him, like, is that the same rim that Mario Hazonia dunked on you on? And Giannis is like, yeah, he dunked on me that didn't play for 6 games straight. It's like, oh, that's a good comeback.
That's funny, actually. That's really funny.
Last year,
I had a tweet I was supposed to put out about Giannis yesterday too, but the Knicks stuff pushed
took
us
it
to the
over.
side.
The lineup, the rotation of the season opener for the New York Knicks last season was Brunson, Grimes, Barrett, Randall, Robinson. Off the bench, quickly, Hartenstein, Hart, Donte DiVincenzo. Now it's only 3 of those players still on the roster. And Mitchell Robinson, I'm counting you, even if you're injured to January. Like, they did a full flip on already a good team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And part of me is a little bit afraid of that. That's
Why?
all. Because I think it's going to take some time.
I think
I
that'll.
have no
yeah.
problem with that. We do not have to win a championship year one.
I think it
I
might
have no
take time,
problem.
but also I think those pieces kind of fit. Everybody kind of falls into place. It's not like you added who's like a guy that takes like a James Harden in his prime.
Or like
Like a
Kawhi,
DeMar
Julius Randle.
DeRozan type shit.
True, yeah. But like you didn't acquire somebody that's gonna take away from what Brunson has already kind of established there.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. I'm fine with it taking time. Like I'm not. We are not in a situation where this is like either you do this year one or oh my gosh. I'm not coming into here at all with that thought process. We can continue to build and build and build like we've been doing, and I'm good with the gradual grind.
Yep.
We
One
went
thing
out
y'all
and
do
we
have
got
going
better.
is that if the offense is struggling this year, I think that's the one thing that can struggle to jail. The defense is probably still going to be great. Y'all going to still be very good defensively.
gonna
Cat-
see.
we already seen
We gonna
Cat buy
see.
into the defensive side of the ball. So
Hey, we are gonna see, but I don't see a world where Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby on the court and your defense is ass.
Oh, no. I'm talking about paint defense. Like, getting to the rim is still going to
Mitchell
be
Robinson
it's
is a
still
really
gonna
good
be there.
defender, man.
Well,
Yeah,
he
so
won't be there to
That's
January.
That's fine.
Whenever he
But
gets
as long as
back.
he's
They
there
might
when it
not ever
matters.
let somebody get to the rim with OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges
Yeah,
over there.
that's true, too.
They might never get a
That's true,
paint
too.
touch
And-
ever.
And everybody was complaining about one of the things people complained about prior to this trade with all. What's going to happen with Miles McBride? Well, there he go.
yeah.
Everybody knew beloved guy. Anytime the Knicks did some shit, it's a problem. Oh, but what about Miles? There you go. Y'all wanted Miles McBride to be in a rotation because you love him. Oh,
That
where's
was
his minutes
D-Mills,
gonna
wasn't
go?
it?
So
That was
boom,
D-Mills.
there you go.
He
That
talking about
was you.
some-
That was
He
you.
said we
I
ain't
ain't know that
getting
was
no
you.
more 20 points. He said we ain't getting no more
But I used
Miles
to see that on
McBride
Twitter.
minutes.
So boom, there you go. We can't have everything.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's pissing me off. We can't have everything. We got Karl-Anthony Towns, and y'all asking me how do I feel about Donte DiVincenzo being traded? Are you shitting me?
I wonder what the window is, because this team is already hella expensive. We know that Brunson already took the pay cut, which is phenomenal. Mikal Bridges is going to come up for an extension very, very soon. OG Anunoby is on the max, and then Karl-Anthony Towns is getting the 8th most expensive player in basketball. So I wonder how long can this team coexist before it also becomes too expensive? And I don't mean it in the way that like the Minnesota Timberwolves didn't want to pay, but like literally sometimes you want to pay and you literally cannot. So I wonder how long until that's the thing. Is that 2 years? Is that 3 years? I don't really know.
Well, this second apron thing is so
Mikal
bad.
Bridges got 2 years left, so boom. We at least
So at
know
least
we
2
got
years.
that.
At least 2 years.
That was the
got
best
that.
thing too, is that everybody kind of wrapped up, at least for I guess 2 years.
Was it a player option on last year, Mikal? Was it guaranteed? Like, is it?
I don't think it's a player option. But all of those contracts,
The
you have
Nets
an
that gave him
option,
that
so-
extension, so it might be right.
Huh?
The Nets gave him that extension, so it could.
No, I think the Suns
They're
did.
still from the Suns era.
Oh,
He's still on that contract.
why does that feel so long?
Yeah,
ago
it's
now?
a
The
very
money wouldn't have been able to
team-friendly deal.
match if it came from the Nets to get him.
Yeah.
So he's got to the end of 2026, no player option, unrestricted in the 2026-2027 season.
Okay.
So he's got this season and next season. Those are the last 2 years. And then, boom, it is what it is.
Where do y'all think this puts them in the Eastern Conference now? Are they right? below
Still
the
second
Celtics?
tier.
Second tier?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Celtics
I
are
can see-
really
yeah.
fucking good,
Yeah,
man.
it's going to take a lot to even knock down the Celtics.
But you could be a second tier team, get some good luck, and you're a finals team.
Yeah, I mean, even before the trade, they are one of the teams that are like kind of built to go toe to toe with the Celtics.
Because of the
I
big
agree.
wings
Yeah, the
and
big
can
wings.
go matched up. And
Yeah, now you have a big.
They don't
also,
have a physical, imposing inside guy that we're just like,
exactly.
But
now
they
y'all
do have rim,
And
rim
Karl-
pressure guys.
Cat can be that physical, dominant inside guy if you want him to, but he's also
he
very
foul out.
skilled.
Until
He
you
can
get
do it,
three
he can do it all
offensive.
over the court.
yeah.
So,
he can.
Yeah. I made a video about the Knicks a week ago, obviously way before this trade happened, and I was saying that they still have eggs in their basket. Like a lot of people saw the Mikal Bridges trade and was like, they gave up all of the picks, yada yada yada. There's not much they can do. This is their team. It was like, that's not the case.
Shout out to the
yeah.
Detroit.
I
pick.
was very
And then a week
surprised that
later, there it goes.
one first round pick was enough for Cat.
But that pick is not even real.
I was gonna say that pick is
So
not.
protect-
that
so
pick is not.
protected.
Yeah.
It's protected heavily until 2027, and it will turn into a second round pick. That pick will not convey as a
That
first.
pick more protected than the present.
I don't know if that's never mind. Been a couple attempts on that president, but he still
That's
he's-
not the president.
Oh. formal.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be a
there's-
couple guys. Yet.
We'll see come November. Anything else about this trade for the Knicks?
I'm just happy, man. Like,
Yeah.
what I keep saying every time a team makes a move, people put so much stuff into it. Man, what are they gonna do? When you're a fan of an organization, all you can ask for is them to make moves like this. They're going for it. That's all you can ask. Are they going to win it? We're going to see. How is it going to pan out? How are they going to look? We're going to see. But we know that this is going to be a playoff team. They're going to be really good. It's just that there's other teams in the NBA. We're not in that league right now where just one team makes a move like this and they're just the favorite, which I'm appreciative of. You have the Celtics, you have the Sixers, you have the Bucks, you have us. Out west, you have OKC. And we'll see how the Timberwolves still shape up because I thought the Timberwolves were in that conversation too prior to this trade
Yep.
out west. But we're going to see. We're going to see.
A few more questions.
A lot of things still have to shape up. Even with moves like this, you still have to have the stars align. You still have to be healthy at the right time. That's always going to play a part. But I'm happy, man.
What does success look like with this roster? And I don't necessarily mean for next season, just in general with this collection of talent. What
this
would be
team-
success?
I think this team wants to get to the NBA Finals. I think they want that. I think this is not a far-fetched thing. You went out and you gave OG Anunoby that bag. You got Mikal Bridges, and now you added Karl-Anthony Towns in one offseason, and you paired them with the seasons that Jalen Brunson has just had. You're going for a championship. You're going for a championship.
I'm so glad you said just like the season that Jalen Brunson had, because honestly, that feels like the motor for a lot of stuff that they've done.
Yes.
Is after they realized, like, because obviously Julius Randle was there, then Jalen Brunson came and he started on his come up. They didn't know he was probably going to be all NBA and be this good.
Yeah,
how he
nobody
is
knew
now.
that.
Yeah.
But
Man, when people clowned us about that contract too.
but I mean, look who laughing now.
That sounds like a cat quote.
This
That
is
pick
what
and roll
movies
with
is
those
made
two
of.
dudes is going to be elite.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Like
Pick and
what-
roll, pick and pop. You got a lot of different options.
And Cat
How
allows
do you guard it? Because those two corner 3-point. Oh, my goodness.
And I just think it's so great now that Jalen Brunson now no longer has to go for 40 plus a night in the playoffs. He now has another guy next to
He
him.
still can if he wants
He
to.
can, but now you
We
got
ain't shaming him
you
if he
still
want to
got
do
Cat
that.
who can get you 25 plus a night comfortably on sometimes questionable efficiency, but he still can get it.
I'm glad he started thinking about what he was saying and what he just seen in the playoffs, and he was like, I can't.
We still got Josh Hart.
Yes. Mikal Bridges is still somebody who can get you 20 a night. At least he did with Brooklyn. I don't know how it's going to translate with a team now where he's put back in his to his
We got
role.
shooters. Landry Shaman on that roster.
Oh, brother. And Cameron Payne. Don't forget Cameron Payne.
Oh, I forgot Cam Payne.
And we bought him back. Mook, Marcus Morris. Stop playing with us.
That's strictly there to hit people.
Tyler Kolek from Marquette. The Dodgers 2.0.
Yeah, him and Dragic about the same age, too.
Stop playing with us.
I remember he had a quote that's saying, give him in a T.J. McConnell comparison is just lazy.
Because he's white in the guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
And
see
he's
that.
gritty.
Yeah.
I think people are forgetting how talented Cat is offensively, man. Because he was taxed to be a 4, and he accepted that role eventually and was really good at it. But now, at least at the start of the season, he's back to a 5, man. And you think about the spacing that he provides at that 5 position. I think I did that episode a few weeks back when I was like, here are my projected top 5 and everything. The Knicks are our top 5 offensive team this year. I don't remember who was my number 5, but they sliding out, and the Knicks are somewhere in that top 5.
All those drives Jalen Brunson now take to the basket now, it's just going to be he's going to be like, whoa.
And Tom Thibodeau is crazy. He going to do this interview talking about, yeah, we're going to run Julius Randle for 15 minutes at the 5, knowing damn well he had no intention of running a small ball lineup.
He just didn't want to spill the beans.
He just didn't want to do it. And then
They said
Or did he?
They said it's been in talks for like a minute now.
Because
and it's just
but the
now kind of like
contract stuff,
finalizing
they couldn't get to the contract ground with Julius
without
Randle.
Charlotte or something.
So,
like that.
no. They wanted the contract talks between the Knicks and Julius Randle. Julius Randle never got to anywhere.
he off the team. You already said fuck him. Can't even pronounce his name right.
Yeah,
I
they could
really
come
do-
to an agreement on an extension.
Yeah, so
So they
that
ain't
really
trading.
opened up the door. The Heat was interested.
No. So that report got aggregated. It wasn't that those teams were interested. It was that the Knicks called them.
Paul. So it was the Heat.
It was the Pistons and then the Atlanta Hawks. Those
Damn.
are the 3 teams.
Well, if I would have woke up to Jalen Johnson being a Knick,
0%.
that would have been crazy. But no,
Who would you rather have, Jalen Johnson or Karl-Anthony Towns?
Karl-Anthony Towns. I'm not one of these people on Twitter.
Shout
that
out,
forgot
shout
who
out to our
Cat
pick a
is.
side guys.
Yeah.
That's
I'm not gonna lie, the Cat,
Yeah, true.
the Cat Knicks jersey gonna go hard though. Like I feel like he gonna look right in a Knicks jersey.
It's rare that we see a all NBA for all NBA trade, especially
Yeah,
from 2
was
contending
true.
teams.
Yeah.
Who better?
Karl-Anthony Towns is a better player than Julius Randle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss Julius Randle though.
Julius Randle.
I just never really had a chance to see him with this team. But I'm
You
gonna
never
miss him.
seen Cat take his team to the playoffs by himself though.
That's true.
That's very true.
Very
But
Because
true.
he-
never had
Julius
the chance-
Randle also
he
wasn't
ne-
out west
he ain't
though
never had
doing
the-
that.
Yes, he never had the chance to
Out
do it
west
on the
be
East.
different.
Not
Hey, Cat
everybody's meant to carry their team to the playoffs by themselves.
Cat is posed to make like 7 All-Stars in a row now. He's in the Eastern Conference, baby. Who is he competing with? No
true.
more Braun, no more KD, no more Kawhi Leonard.
that
No competing.
He was
means-
making it
yeah.
then, though.
Yeah, he
Because
did,
when our
he did.
all-star selections or
Cat
basketball
had
we
50
doing,
in All-Star game. Stop talking to me.
we always be like the center spot a little. Somebody gonna slide in there,
Yeah.
just like. But no, Cat might be taking that spot now.
So I asked, what does success look like? What would a failure of this
Second round
regime be?
exits. Like you constantly can't get
There's
over
no
the hump.
conference finals
Yeah,
appearances.
you can't get there. But if you do go to multiple conference finals and like you right there, even though you might come up short, you still be like, okay, we had a fighting chance. Like we was right there. We just couldn't beat the Celtics.
Bless you.
Or like Giannis was just too dominant. Like Giannis, we just couldn't get through Giannis.
That's also the other thing that people ain't talking about.
What?
This opens up that door. If the Bucks fail, we now have packages to send them for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I know Stephen A. ready to say that on Monday.
The money's gonna be matching, baby.
OG Anunoby, you're a Buck now.
No, Mitchell Robinson.
Oh yeah, The
Mitchell
Bucks-
Robinson. You
The
was a
Bucks
Buck.
might as well. Or yeah, they might as
What
well.
Cat
They
say? He
franchise. They
said-
do that.
I'm a warrior.
I just think it's crazy that Cat just bought that like big house in LA and then they sent him so far away from it that
He was far away from it in Minnesota.
but they sent his ass even further.
Two opposite coasts. Last time they played together, they didn't like each other. Tom Thibodeau and Karl-Anthony Towns. I know
How
that they
did that with
smoothed over
minutes
that.
work? You think because Thibodeau plays his guys so heavy, does Cat want to play?
Well, how many
30
minutes do you think he played last season per game, Karl-Anthony Towns? I don't know
maybe
the answer. I'm
around
going to look it up, though.
33, 34?
And how many would you
Because
expect
you-
him to play with Tom Thibodeau?
Shit. Without Mitchell Robinson being there at the beginning,
32.
At least 40.
But they still do have Jericho Sims, and Precious Achua.
Yeah.
It's not like they have zero centers. The
Yeah.
problem was they weren't deep there. They don't with Karl-Anthony Towns, I don't think you need to be deep. You need to have people that can soak up some minutes. And last year, the start of the season, Jericho Sims did that. So I think they'll be fine.
It's also it's not the playoffs, so they have like leniency to really go into.
Yeah,
the
I'm fine. I'm so cool on taking Mitchell Robinson time. Like the Knicks don't have to win 60 games to prove anything for me. If we are, I'll take some humps and lumps during this regular season as long. That came out.
I wasn't even gonna say nothing. I wasn't even
It
gonna
didn't
say it.
sound that crazy.
Yes, I didn't, and then I thought about what I just said. I'll take some
Humps and
humps.
lumps.
I also do want to say
Oh.
last year, Jalen Brunson was 15th in minutes plays at 35. So it's not like Tom Thibodeau just runs all of his guys to the ground.
He be on Twitter a lot. You can see.
35 minutes per game is in the same realm as
Hey.
Ja Morant. It's exactly
This
tied with
meme
Ja Morant,
crazy.
Damian Lillard.
When they all
Oh,
doing
yeah.
it. But no, yeah, man, I'm cool. As long as we all good,
Come playoff time.
come playoff time.
Yeah. That's
Come
really where
playoff
it
time.
matters.
We might be in the market for Kawhi though, seeing what the Clippers do.
That'd be
That
great.
would change everything in the negative way. The way Kawhi Leonard needs to be doing.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Him and Thibodeau ain't going to get along.
Because Thibodeau gonna be like, "Hey, can you stand though?"
Yeah, you saw how he made
Ka-
OG Anunoby go out there
Kawhi
last
like,
season.
he like, but can you stand? If you can just stand, trust me. Trust me.
You
All
got to
we
get
need
that.
is-
Once the adrenaline going, you're gonna be good.
Tom Thibodeau is the definition of rub some dirt on it.
What would y'all grade this trade for the Knicks? Mike, you go first.
I would grade it at A minus. And I would say that because the question mark with Julius Randle was there. I felt like we were all kind of thinking about it like that. And they felt that Karl-Anthony Towns was probably going to be the better fit. Of course, they had to lose Donte, but I think they like the spacing that he's going to provide for this team. And it does move him the needle a little bit closer to a championship.
What about you, Pierre?
A+ to me. Just off the simple fact that again, you don't really have many times to have a window to quote unquote go for it. And they do. The Knicks have not been in a situation, like you said, in our lifetime, this is as big as them going for it as we've really seen, realistically going for it. They've had other times in their brain where they were going for it, but this is it going for it. And you have to take a chance. J. Cole got a lyric, if you're scared to take a risk, how the hell we going to get rich? And I feel the same thing with the Knicks. If we're trying to win a title and we're trying to do something special, how many times are you going to have a chance to acquire a talent of Karl-Anthony Towns while having a team already have Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, and Mikal Bridges? You just don't have the stars aligned for you that many times, and you have to take advantage. Look around the NBA. We're not having too many times where free agency is like 4 all-NBA guys are just sitting out there trying to go to new teams, and then the second apron stuff. And, the Eastern Conference is so tight. Everybody made moves. We just made another move. You go for it, man. You go for it.
For me, I'm gonna give it an A+. I think they went in. They traded an All-NBA talent for a better All-NBA talent in Karl-Anthony Towns. I think when you're talking about the spacing that he's gonna provide for a Jalen Brunson, like you just added a whole different that duo and that pick and roll and that pick and pop game is just gonna be so nasty. I just don't know how you look at that and not say A+. Because and then when you talk about the defensive side of the ball, we saw him buy in so much to the defensive side of the ball to where he guards on the perimeter, he protects the rim. We saw him having a great defensive possessions on Nikola Jokic, where we was like, damn, he doing a better job than Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert is a DPOY. And KD. Yeah, and KD. I forgot about the KD. I forgot about the Sun series. So, Cat just does so much. He's evolved his game so much to where he's a completely different player. And I just think he's the more, Julius Randle, who has so many question marks when you're talking about, is he going to buy in? Is he going to buy into the defensive side of the ball? Is he going to buy into, his role on the team now? I think Cat had already adjusted to that while playing with Anthony Edwards, where I think he's going to come into this situation, and they can kind of hit the ground running.
I'm gonna give it an A, straight up A. I think the reason it's not a plus, because it feels like a trade that it's good for the team, but maybe not necessarily necessary at the same time. But an A nonetheless. Minnesota Timberwolves side.
I'll give it a C+.
Yeah, that's kind of the area I was in around C+. I just don't love the fit. It just doesn't look nice. It doesn't look good. The Cat thing, it didn't look good, but then eventually looked good. I just don't see Julius Randle evolving that spacing that Cat provided to bring out that 4-man the way they had to respect him.
I'm gonna give him a B-, and the reason I'm gonna give him a B- is because I just have to continue to say, like, matter of fact, no, I'm giving him a C too, because I keep feeling like, man, it's the move they had to make, but that's because they want to make the move. They don't want to pay.
They don't want to spend their money.
Yeah, that's their fault. It ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm conflicted because I want to kind of give them some benefit, some slight, but no, they want it to be cheap, and what they saving $10 million next year.
Because
Me too.
in the hindsight, they're probably thinking like, we just brought in another All NBA player,
Right.
plus we got a really good role player.
But then
so they might
KB
be
also
thinking
bring
like
up
it's
the
a
point
dub.
of, like, if you're not gonna give Julius Randle his money, you just leave, and then you now just got Donte DiVincenzo, who ain't bad, but it's like, where does that leave you now?
And
Right.
then also,
It ain't like you can go in. That ain't how money work in the NBA. Was
Yeah.
like, oh, his contract gone, so we just go get somebody. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. And
It's
then-
not like they lose him and now they got a max spot for free agency.
yeah. So
and also you got to think about the fact you also got to keep Anthony Edwards happy. Like, he isn't a guaranteed stay or a lock for the franchise. Like, if he's disgruntled by the end of his contract, he decide not to agree to that extension, because we see stars do this, where they be like, yeah,
Bro, I don't like this conversation.
Why?
Man.
it's D Mill's favorite
Because
route.
Anthony Edwards is like what? How old is Anthony?
no,
Edwards?
I'm not saying that, but
He signed an extension already. But obviously he can still ask out. But
I
he's
get what
already
you're
signed.
saying.
No, I'm not saying.
I
ask
agree
out.
with him though. I agree with him in a larger scheme. If getting to the Western Conference Finals didn't satisfy y'all enough to keep the core, when y'all don't reach there in the consecutive years, what that mean for everybody else?
Yeah.
Maybe not
exactly.
Anthony Edwards, but what does that
But
mean?
I
for
just don't like the
everybody else?
conversation when it's like a young player on a friend. Like when it was the conversation with Luka trying to ask out like 2-3 years ago. It's just
Yeah.
like I just
Yeah.
don't think that's gonna be a thing really.
No, I feel you. I slightly agree with him in a whole team concept, not
Yeah.
necessarily focused on Anthony Edwards. But again, if you make the Western Conference Finals and they are still saying, this team probably won't make that again. Just I'm thinking off paper.
That's where I could see it coming into like it happening is the slap in the face is like we're not going to pay for this team that's gonna try to. We're not gonna pay for the team that has the best chance to get a championship because we cheat. We
Yeah,
just
I
gonna do
wasn't
it
even
that
more
way.
so saying he's gonna ask out. I was just more so saying like, if for the however many years are left, if by the end of that and he don't agree to an extension, he's gonna wait that out and add pressure on y'all. Add to his roster. So
Well,
he
that
could
could have
be
been a
back
That's
to back.
2029.
Yeah, that could have been a
Oh, that- is
possibility
that deep?
even
Yeah, he
without
just
this
signed the
trade
extension not so long
happening.
ago.
Never mind.
That's so far in the future. We
He's
don't
so
know.
yeah, he locked in.
People on Twitter are saying that there's a world where they start Donte at the 1. Do y'all see that for Donte? I know he played some 1 throughout his career. I mean, in college he played 1 as well.
No,
But
for right now, I see it
Depends
still
on what
being
type of
Mike Conley.
1, because the 1 would really just be giving the ball to Anthony.
Yeah, I was gonna
Edwards.
say
he might as well play the 1. And coming off the shooting season he just had, I kind of would want him off the ball.
so in Sacramento and Milwaukee, he played about 25% of his minutes at the 1. The team had a net rating of a negative 27.
Well, he said Sacramento too. We know that
True,
Sacramento
true.
team is probably
Yeah, that's
bad.
unfair.
True.
Milwaukee
but it's
team,
still
I don't
hilarious.
even
brought
think
it
that
up.
to see
the
stats.
Sacramento tenure shouldn't even really be brought up in his career. But
I'm gonna the grade I would give for the Timberwolves is probably a C+ as well. Because I mean they got talent in the door, right?
Mhm.
That's one thing you can't say. We traded away an all NBA talent. We got an all NBA talent.
it's
I
just
personally hate the
puzzle.
fit, and I hate how it pigeonholes them to have to pay Julius Randle or let him walk for nothing, and then you reset your franchise when you have a superstar growing currently on the team.
That is such a crazy way to look. Like Julius Randle does have all the leverage. Like that's so crazy that they did that.
All the
But
leverage.
He could have all the leverage, or they can say you don't have much leverage. See ya.
Yeah, so it's really depending on like if the Brooklyn Nets want to pay him. Hey, the Brooklyn Nets are offering me $36 million, or I could stay here for 38. What's
or
up?
if some team, can they trade him again?
Let's see 2025
hey,
NBA cap.
You
Maybe they could-
asking for 38?
Maybe they
You
could.
gone,
maybe
bro.
they could flip him to the Bulls.
People were asking like, does this mean that? Do you think there's a world where they trade Julius Randle by February? I'm like, I guess it's possible, but like where though? I guess we don't know what teams are gonna look
Chicago.
like. For what though?
Zach, are you saying Zach LaVine?
He's
I'm
making
be the only-
money
I'm
like
just-
Karl-Anthony
I'm
Towns
just talking.
was. I just don't know what
Oh,
that
yeah,
team
yeah.
looks like. Is it Atlanta? DeAndre
No,
Hunter,
no,
welcome. Like,
no.
does that satisfy
No,
anybody?
They have
No,
Jalen
no.
Johnson. Why would they do
Yeah,
that?
true. Who would you rather have, Jalen Johnson or Julius Randle?
For what
Okay,
team?
that you thought way too long for me.
for the Hawks in the current state, I want Jalen Johnson. But for another team, I want
Brooklyn
Julius
Nets?
Randle.
Yeah, I want Julius Randle.
Projected cap space as of right now, the Brooklyn Nets will have about $50 million. The Rockets will have $30 million. The Wizards will have $25 million. The Utah Jazz will have $27 million.
I don't like the options from my brother. But he's showing you what he can do if you start your franchise.
I
with him.
don't know. He might not like Brooklyn, but that 50 M's on the table. He might not get all of it, but hey, I'm getting a good chunk.
Still in New York.
He is the prime Fred VanVleet of this offseason. We go overpay because Julius Randle is really talented.
And Jimmy Butler's Jimmy Butler's in the.
He has a player option.
Both players do, yeah.
Jimmy Butler's probably opting out.
Guess we'll see this season.
At least
Hey man, Julius Randle can hoop. That's what
Yes,
we
he
not
can.
about
Yes,
to do.
yes,
We
yes.
not-
He can hoop.
Julius Randle can hoop.
That's
Julius
why
Randle
I was laughing because he was acting like Julius Randle can't shoot the ball. I know he's not no catch and shoot crazy person, but he can definitely shoot the pill.
It's just
he's just not
sidestep off the dribble type shit.
Hey,
Yeah, it looked bad when you got
When
Anthony
it's-
Edwards right
when
there.
it's going in, I bet your jaw drop.
And no, he's a really
My,
fun player.
as a
This
fan
was-
who's had him on the scene, my jaw dropped several times. Not always in good moments either.
Yeah. I mean, that's what comes with the territory.
Even when he is making it, it's kind of like, oh, your jaw still drop a little
It's kind of like playing with Kyron. Fool's gold.
bit.
I'm sorry, that number is $80 million. I don't know what I was just reading. $80
$80
million
million
for the Nets.
For the Nets?
They can have both
he's
of them
got
boys
he's
if
got
they
at
want
least
to.
40 of that. He got at least 40.
They should
they
give him
pay
and
him.
Jimmy. I would go get Randall and Jimmy. No, I wouldn't. That spacing is crazy.
What's Scuba Flag gonna do to create
They
if he's
don't,
got those?
they don't need spacing. They just going to bully their way.
Well, no, they're going to
Julius
have Cam
Randle don't
Thomas.
care. He'll run through a wall.
Cam Thomas, no matter what kind of spacing he got, he gonna get
He
that
gonna
shot up.
get
Phone
that shot.
Because you got Claxton.
Yeah.
Yeah,
least
80
today.
million in cap sound crazy when you talk about going into free agency.
And a top 5 pick, because you know they're gonna be ass.
That's how much you be capping. 80 million in cap.
80 million in cap.
Talking
At
about
least
the
I got.
Mavericks.
At least I
Talking
got
about the
80
Mavericks
million.
is gonna win this finals. That was 80 million in cap.
He's talking about Jason Tatum only do it against the Pistons.
80 million in cap.
That's a crazy timeline for you, brother. That's a crazy timeline for you, brother.
Why do we got to relive it?
You definitely said in so many words, Tatum is ass. He only plays well against bad teams. That's what you said.
Not even bad teams, the worst team.
The word right, the 14-win team.
And it's crazy. He was glazing the Mavs when he picked them to lose against the Wolves the previous series. He got up here talking about the Mavs like he always picked them. Like that was always his team.
I thought he did pick them. Or I thought he did pick the
He had
Timberwolves.
the Mavs winning. I mean, the Timberwolves. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. He had them.
You know what they say?
He had them
Flip flop
beating the
like a
Mavs.
sandal.
I thought that.
Whoever won that series.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
also I thought that Rudy and Cat would help prevent all those damn lobs. That shit did not work.
It was over and over.
So the end of that era is Jaden McDaniels saying on the switch.
Damn, that is yeah.
Yeah, what's y'all favorite Karl-Anthony Towns Minnesota Timberwolves memory?
Hey, on some real shit, Cat, my boy. But it's that tweet. Remember that they posted that tweet and nothing was good. It was happening since they posted that tweet. That was crazy.
It was him being put in that submission hold by Ben Simmons and him tapping out.
Damn.
Hey.
They give a positive
Hey, come on,
moment for
bro.
the big purr.
Come on, bro.
No, it's a lot.
It's that game he just had against who was that? The Hornets?
When he dropped 60?
He
Or
he
like
stopped 60 and lost?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was against the Hornets.
Yeah. I don't care about him losing. Yeah,
think you gonna carry that
but
one.
I
You
was
gonna carry
like,
that
maybe I should pick a happier moment because that's got to be tough to lose that game.
Yeah.
It was a regular season game. He had
He
60.
still has 60.
He went to
though.
the conference final. That loss
Yeah,
didn't
true,
mean nothing.
true. That's they not worried about the Hornets. Well, they
It was-
did just help him though. So
Yeah, shout
It
out
was him
to, this
defending-
trade doesn't happen
yeah.
without the Hornets.
It was him defending Jokic in that game 7. He was
Not
doing a
bad.
very good job. I did not think he had that in him, and he just showed us more layers to him.
50 in All-Star game.
Oh, which All-Star game was that?
The most recent one, wasn't it? Yeah, most recent one.
The one that we said deuces to, we ain't going.
Oh shit!
he
you
won one of the 3-point contests he was in
He
too,
sure
right?
did, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember
Didn't he
him
win a
getting the
skins
card.
challenge too?
He
I
just
don't
an
remember
all-star
that.
weekend demon. He got one of every award. Dunk contest coming this year. Put him in.
That
I
would
can
look so
imagine
nasty.
his shoes are so big, bro.
They're like a sad
Hey,
19.
Cat got the biggest feet in the world, bro. It should be
What you think
curling
his size
now.
is?
When he get to the toe of the shoe, it start curling.
I
up.
bet his size is nothing
He's like a
crazy.
19,
but
18
it
or
just,
19.
I don't know, something about the way he
It
run, it
disproportionately
like
fits his
plop.
body?
They plop, bro.
He
It's so crazy.
he
He's one of the
probably like
best
a
in the
17,
world with
18.
that. Because his coordination don't
Ooh,
seem right.
What's the guesses?
17.
You know, he was a size 20.
18.
20.
Yeah.
But Donovan Mitchell wears like a size
Yeah, no,
18.
Donovan Mitchell's
Donovan
feet are
Mitchell
crazy, bro.
wears a size
He's on a smaller
18
body, but
at
he's like-
6'3".
his-
Donovan
be
Mitchell
flopping.
wearing 18?
Yes.
Yes.
I have a
Feet like
signed
this.
Donovan Mitchell shoe,
That's
brother.
why
That
you didn't-
it's like this.
You never seen my when I tweeted? I don't know. I thought it was so funny when I was looking at NBA players' shoe size because you got a player like Donovan Mitchell with just super large feet, and then Paul George with the same size as me.
I bet KD wish he were the same size as you.
He probably
Oh,
do.
man, yeah. Imagine that timeline. All right, when we come back from this break, we got to talk all things Derrick Rose, Kawhi Leonard, the media days that have happened so far. Stay tuned.
Why should you bet with Caesars Sportsbook? 2 words, Caesars Rewards. Every bet brings you closer to the type of benefits only Caesars can offer. Hotel stays, VIP experiences, sports and concert tickets, and more. It's not just an app, it's an empire.
People are sending me a screenshot of a video that I did, that I made this trade.
I saw that in the replies
Yeah.
of something.
and
You like
guess what
Julius
happened?
Randle. Hope you like Minnesota.
Right. Guess what happened? Those two teams met each other in the finals in that video, and it was a 7-game series that the Knicks won.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Who won
wow.
Finals MVP?
I don't know. I just got screenshots from the game, but looking at the stat line in Game 7, Donte DiVincenzo still on the team, so it's kind of skewed. He had
Okay.
29 in it.
Oh, we
Oh,
needed
damn.
him.
Y'all do need him.
When I get home, I might try to look into a cat build.
Yeah,
'Cause
because
I see we on-
our center
Yeah,
bill was
offensive, we gonna-
bad.
I do want to say I wasn't center yesterday, so what they about to
Our
say has
center
nothing to do
bill
with me.
was bad.
We
but
had, before we get into this other stuff, we had the worst pro-am performance I've ever seen. Not only was our center looking like a T-Rex, it's a 7'3" center with a 6'7" wingspan. I'm exaggerating, but
he was 7'3" minimum wingspan because
could-
he wanted to be able to shoot.
and went for every block, knowing he had no wingspan and talking about, I don't know why, I just can't get no block. The other center had 26 and 26.
Yep.
And he wasn't good. He
was
wasn't,
not
He wasn't like
good
he
at
was
all.
a good center coming
He
in
was
after
just
20
dunking
and
on
20.
somebody that didn't have a wingspan. And then on top of that, our center was a stretch who decided to try momentum shooting in a pro-am game that we take serious. If I would have knew that, I would have just said rec from the beginning. But
For real, I'm kind of mad we lost that game
me too.
because like I really wanted to take our record serious because I wanted to get to
I
platinum
really
and
take it
everything
serious.
like that.
I was
yeah.
trying to be calm as the game started.
Before we started up, he said, "John, I hope you know we playing." He said, "If we gonna play pro-am, don't bring in no bullshit." He
Yeah.
said, "No, I got you."
I
You
take
got-
pro-am
you
very
got
serious.
dominated.
But yeah, I'm going to be looking to a cat build. What does a cat build have?
Big feet.
Limitless?
It's not going to be possible to make, honestly.
I don't think
Because you're gonna have to lower their wingspan.
Yeah, you're gonna have to lower your
You're gonna have to
wingspan.
lower the wingspan. That's
You don't
how.
have to lower it too much. I was playing around with it yesterday. You can have a 6'11" wingspan, 7-foot wingspan with 83.3. Because Limitless is only 83. He don't need to have Limitless gold.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's talk about Derrick Rose. Officially announced his retirement. Last episode, we talked about him getting waived from the Grizzlies. He released a video kind of teasing what was going to happen, and then it was official. He is no longer playing professional basketball.
It was a sad moment, man, because growing up, Derrick Rose is the reason why I fell in love with basketball. Like seeing him come from Simeon, growing up on the South Side, and you felt his impact within the city. Like he was definitely a big name within the city. To see him go out, get drafted #1 to the Bulls, the whole city just had a buzz to it. Him going toe to toe with Brian them in the conference finals, and Derrick Rose literally was he uplifted Chicago in a state where we didn't really have much.
Hmm.
And he did that. And it was just damn, what injuries did to him was just so deflating, and he never was able to get back to his normal self. And it's just sad, man.
Yeah,
He
he's one of
had
the
so much
biggest.
potential.
He's one of the biggest what ifs in NBA history when they talk about without injuries what his career could have been.
Yeah.
And
The
I can
youngest MVP ever.
And I feel like we all got a little bit of connection. Obviously, like you said it too, but D Rose is part of the reason I love basketball and I got into it. For when I was really getting into basketball, my mom had got me those playoff tickets I was talking about to the Bulls game, and I got to see him play. And then it was different. I feel like a lot of things we talk about were kind of like how Jordan, you talk about Jordan, how he was like this ghost or whatever. I feel like it was the same thing with kind of Derrick Rose a little bit from where we come from. And when we had him on the Zoom call or whatever, like it was just different, you know? And I think that it kind of speaks volumes to the impact he had in not only basketball, but a lot of people from Chicago. And it's just touching to see that, like, he's kind of going, I don't know, it's kind of bittersweet because he didn't really have much to do in basketball anymore. Like, we know that he probably wasn't going to get picked up or play heavy minutes, but it's also like, that's another person we grew up watching kind of leaving the game.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not as sad. I'm actually kind of happy.
Yeah.
Because I think D Rose exiting in peace. The fact that he made the video and how he made the video and explained that, you know, he's won't be in the NBA, but he's not like leaving basketball. His son still plays. I'm sure he'll still be involved. He got Team Rose. Shout out to Team Rose. EJ was playing for them this summer. But the crazy thing about Derrick Rose, bro, after everything y'all just said, he is one of those people that, like, I swear Derrick Rose is my cousin. It feels like he's like that close to me. Whereas I've never met Derrick Rose besides the Zoom call, like in person. I don't think. Derrick Rose don't know who the hell I am, but it almost feels like he's just like your cousin. It's like, damn, man, cousin just retired.
He was one of the people that, like, I feel like you would just go to war for if somebody was arguing with somebody.
Yeah,
over
like
Derrick Rose. You know
every
what I'm saying?
time Derrick Rose's name come up, you always have these people on Twitter that try to take away the moment and bring up stuff. And I never go back and forth with them, but I always look at it and be like, do I just do this? Like, because it's just like, what? Y'all just whatever. But that's my dog, though. Shout out to D Rose.
And he had like the best era to kind of do that MVP thing too, because it's like around the time where it's the Heat came. And like you said, nobody really liked the Heat unless you were a damn Heat fan.
Yes.
And so for him to kind of be go, it was kind of like the Goliath versus whatever his name is.
David
versus Goliath.
the
type of
Goliath
thing.
versus
His name
whoever. David won that fight, by the way.
I know. But anyways, it was just kind of like that type of battle. It's like, man, this is different.
That's clipped, by the way.
One thing that I always remember, and I've said this on this podcast 1,000 times, I'll never forget, man. I don't have many regrets in life. I was a kid. Derrick Rose is one of the best players in the nation at this time. My dad comes into the room, says to me and my older brother, D Rose is about to play at the United Center. Big Steve got the going up there. Do y'all want to go?
Big Steve.
Or do y'all want to go to y'all cousin
Hotel party.
I think it was like Trail or something birthday. They're going to be swimming and stuff, or we can go to Derrick Rose stuff. Derrick Rose was the guy. So we was like, damn, D Rose, whatever. We just going to go swimming, or we could always go see D Rose. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I kid you not, bro. The next day, you turn on ESPN, Derrick Rose is windmilling. He's windmilling on the United Center on people. I'm sure you can type in his high school highlights, and that's going to be one of the first highlights that pop up is him doing this dunk that I'm talking about with the LeBrons on. And we was sick. We was sick, man. I'll never forget. I wonder if my brother still remember that, but I'll never forget that moment, man, because I'm like, we really passed. Like, that always sticks with me. I'll see something, I'll see that highlight and be like, we really could have seen that shit. And we wanted to go swimming.
It's not as sad to me.
Yeah.
Because I think him dropping the video a day before kind of nullified the blow a little bit. There's no other announcement that could have been done with him in that video. It was a video of him in his house with his kids. That's all you really need to know if you know the Derrick Rose history of I want to be there when my kids graduate and walk across the stage, yada, yada, yada. So when I saw the moment when the kids run into frame, I'm like, oh, it's raps. That's it. He's not announcing a business partnership or anything like that. He is done with the game of basketball. But also, the fact that he played the last 5 years, or at least on a team and contributed on the last 5 years, is special because his body continued to give out on him. So once we got to the fourth team in the third year of playing 30 games, I had in my mind accepted the fact that we were done with watching Derrick Rose.
Absolutely.
So his last year in Memphis, I couldn't tell you a moment of him on the Memphis Grizzlies. I don't know if he had a specific moment.
It don't matter because he gave us the gift of that 50-point game.
Yes.
Like, honestly.
He also reinvented himself. A lot of people don't talk about that little Detroit era felt a little wasted because the Pistons weren't that good of a team. Derrick Rose was a 6th man of the year candidate, back, off the bench score type guy. Like, your Lakers could have used him, and it would have probably been a more prevalent thing because. But if we had that Derrick Rose on a contending team, it'll be looked at a lot more bigger. But because the Pistons wasn't that good, it kind of got swept under. But he was killing. He was. I don't think you remember. Yeah, but go look at your phone.
I'm gonna pull up his stats.
Yeah, that 6-man season with the Pistons, he was killing.
What Derrick said is so perfect though. He gave buzz to a city that didn't have a lot of buzz at it. The time the 2 to 3 year span of very good Derrick Rose, it was something the city needed. Yeah. And I can't even explain that to the people that aren't in Chicago or from Chicago what I mean by that. But his play electrified the entire city of Chicago.
I'm smiling looking at these stats. He wasn't this good, Pete. 18 points, 5 assists in 20-something minutes. Come on now.
6 man of the year, 7th. 6 man of the year, 3rd the next year.
That's crazy.
The previous year, 6 man of the year, 6th. MIP 8. He was in an MIP running.
It's as a former MVP.
I was gonna say that is kind of crazy.
And it's special. Like I talked about before that I've gone through this offseason, watched a bunch of old games and stuff. And I did have my moment where I was watching old Chicago Bulls games, and the way he was moving has now become pretty normal with the Ja Morant or even Russell Westbrook from the same draft class. But when he was doing it, it was so very special. It was something
I still
we
don't
didn't
think
see.
it's normal. I do not think they move like him. They are athletic, but
he was like a power.
He was big.
The
He was
strong,
He was like
the
a strong
speed,
athletic.
the strength, and the 40-inch vertical is a deadly combination. And he was controlled. Russ is athletic, but Russ was never as controlled as Derrick Rose was.
He also always hooped like he was from the South Side.
Yep.
He was in his brand of basketball was so fucking Chicago, bro.
Shout out to Tom.
Hey,
Tom let him rock, bro.
Hey, the way he went up
A
with
lot
the
of
quick
coaches would have tried
layups.
to change that. Tom let him rock.
The way he went up with the quick layups and how he did the little double clutches, it always reminded me of he ain't did nothing but play 32 all day.
All day.
Oh, you
And
got
that
10
cross.
people in the hole, you still got to finish around
And you
them.
know why he said he was so crafty at the rim?
Because,
He was small and everybody else was bigger than him, and he didn't want to get hit as a kid playing with all these adults. So he had to go up and under high off the glass. And it's the same thing with Kyrie Irving basically said the same thing. But it's, I don't know, to see the kid go in as a rookie, right? Let me get this stat line for y'all.
Read his book.
His very first playoff game. This man is 20 years old against the defending fucking champions. 36-11.
Who watched that game live? Who remember watching that game live?
I do not remember watching
I don't
it live.
remember watching it live.
I bet I was there, but I don't remember it.
Y'all fake.
I
No, I'm
probably
just
did
joking.
watch it
I'm just
live. I
joking.
just don't remember watching it.
That was an incredible game, bro.
Defending champions goes to a 7-game series with the 20-year-old D Rose. I
Celtics
was sitting back just hoping that they won that series.
Celtics won 7 games with everybody that year.
Yeah, but they still
Besides
won.
the finals, I think.
no, they lost to Orlando in the second round. 7-game series. Though.
Oh, then the previous. There was a year where they put
Yeah, their
7 with
championship run was 7-7, 6-6.
Damn.
It was a tough road. But even
They
in this
prevailed.
series, they made it happen. But even in this series, I don't know. They're just to defend the champion, and it's like
I love that Bulls team.
I'm trying to figure out because obviously KG did not play in this series, so that's a big whatever. I don't give a. I literally do not care.
Rondo hip check.
But I'm trying to
Hurt.
figure out what the betting lines would have been. Like, even without KG, they were still the heavy favorite. Nobody saw this young Chicago Bulls team that was 41-41 under Vinny Del Negro to come out there and push the defending champions to the limit.
Ben
Insane.
Gordon, Derrick Rose was killing. He was dragging it, but Ben Gordon made so many timely shots, bro.
We had that one Ray Allen game, and that was the series. Ray Allen, I don't remember which game it was, but Ray Allen spazzed one of these games.
It was in Chicago too, right?
Let me double check which one it was.
You know how he do it. He got to the arena 12 hours early, worked on this shot.
He had 51
Oh, yeah.
51.
in Game 6.
Damn.
Oh, the Bulls won that game. Whoa, I do not remember the Bulls winning the game. I
that the
remember him having
overtime
a
game?
crazy game.
Won an overtime game.
Yes, this game did go to OT. Went to triple OT.
Okay.
Gotta go rewatch it.
Damn.
Gotta go rewatch it, bro. Gotta go rewatch it. For Derrick
Triple
Rose's sake.
OT.
Because he had a
triple.
game-tying three-pointer in that game, too.
Yeah, and Derrick Rose ended this game with 28 and 8 and 7.
28, 8, and 7.
Those.
I'm looking at, it said the top stats, it say 51 points, 9 threes, 3 assists.
That's crazy.
But yeah, obviously we never got to an NBA championship appearance, or we never got to see Derrick Rose be that good again. And I always think about this, and we're gonna talk about Kawhi Leonard in a little bit. That like, if only we knew that this was gonna be the last great version of a player. Like every time a big injury happens, you just assume, oh, he'll be back next season. It'll be all right. And Derrick Rose was back next season, but he still missed 30 games. And then we went into the playoffs, and it was interesting to go against the Miami Heat, yada, yada, yada. But we didn't know that year, the youngest MVP year, was basically going to be the last real elite level, oh, my God, superstar year. Like the year going into it, he was ranked number 7 in ESPN power ranking. Like even coming off the injury, they're like, oh, that's fucking Derrick Rose. We still believe it. And then obviously it went down and down since then.
And I ain't forget either.
I don't know if an individual Chicago player will impact the Bulls as much as Derrick Rose did.
And I ain't forget. It's a lot of people making posts and shit. The city was turning on Derrick Rose when he was getting hurt. Like it was a choice. So a lot of y'all can shut the hell up, because I remember that's when I was ignorant. We ain't had no platform. I was on Facebook going back and forth for anybody
him in a
that
wheelchair, him on the bench,
anybody that wanted it. We talking about somebody who was getting hurt and people questioning, like somebody, like he going outside, like, oh, let me tear my ACL today so I ain't got to play. I hated that much. That's why I don't like the Bulls, because they fans was pissing me off so much. I was ready to put hands on somebody, Darrick. And then I'll never forget, he went through all of that and hit that shot against the Cavs, the bank shot, which I remember where I was at too.
Yeah.
And then I saw all those people hop right back on the jock. And then that's when I was really pulling up receipts and like, come on, man. Chicago, they were so fake with that. I ain't like that at all, bro.
Derrick Rose is the reason why LeBron and D Wade and them consider coming here. Like we was right there.
I'm glad they didn't.
I'm glad they didn't either. Stay over there.
Try to ride our way.
No, fuck that. I want that championship. I'm capping.
That would have been a guaranteed at least 2.
Yes, at least 2, probably 3.
I ain't heard you guarantee nothing before.
They would have shipped D Rose off.
Now you guaranteeing?
They would have shipped Derrick Rose off so fast. You know LeBron. This ain't working.
They would have brought.
They would have brought in an old vet,
30+ years old.
You see, Pat Riley had to put his foot down. If Bulls would have done that, whatever you say. He's our hometown hero, but we'll trade him for Mario Chalmers.
Yeah, they put their foot down and look where they at.
What you mean, look where they at?
Look at who?
The Miami Heat.
Miami Heat done damn good.
Yeah, ain't got no more rings, though.
They got more
some
than
finals
the Bulls.
appearances.
Bron was giving them at least one more if he stayed.
Was he?
I'm just talking. There's no Bam Adebayo at the Miami Heat.
You know,
if it's not
if
for
he
that.
would have stayed, we would have got Heat versus Warriors.
Would we?
So many different dominoes to fall.
Well, the next year, that's when the Warriors went to the finals and they met the Cavs. So I would assume that LeBron would have.
He would have just took them to the.
Yeah,
it was a time period where it was.
What if
it
the
was
Raptors
legit
would've
like
beat the Heat,
LeBron just coming out the East. We gonna see who come out the West.
That
was a legit thing.
And then eventually ended up being, we know that the Warriors are coming out of the East. The West. We know that the Cavs are coming out of the West. You other 28 teams, we gonna act like we care.
Just irritate us for 82 games.
We gonna act like we care, but we know that y'all not beating these teams in the 7. I'm
So-
glad we're far away from that, though.
So what's up with Kawhi?
Everything and anything. We literally don't know.
Because I'm rebuilding him right now.
He had another procedure on his knee this offseason. Lawrence Frank said, I don't have a crystal ball to know if he'll be ready for the start of the season. Spoiler alert. His ass is not going to be ready for the start of the season.
And that's still just about the worst thing I think you could really just hear right now if you're a Clippers fan.
So GMs, presidents, and coaches be knowing what's going to be asked, and they still be caught off guard. I would have my answer ready.
It's sad.
No. And that don't mean it still might be a little like beating around the bush at Canavin, but it's gonna be a good answer.
Yeah.
I don't have a crystal ball. Sounds like you was not ready.
Yeah.
It's just he's another one of those dudes. It's like we know what he can be, but his body just it's not sticking up for him.
I always think about the Pelicans thing where it's like, do they do that just so they can try to keep their sales?
Some big conspiracy theory, new arena and everything. Kawhi's good. He gonna have a great season.
Because last thing I want to hear if I'm a season ticket holder is just he's not gonna be playing.
You not fucking with Kobe Brown?
Get a bunch of KPJ minutes.
I don't know. I'm just disappointed for Clippers fans, I guess, is the right word to use.
New arena, no All-Star. You get
It's James Harden season.
You get James Harden.
And Zubac.
Yeah, get a lot of pick and roll, double step back threes. You know, James Harden get the rock out.
I just have nothing else to say about it.
As a guy
We've just seen it
rebuilding them
before.
right now, it's a tough situation. And I got Kawhi. He's healthy in my land. But to not have him, boy. So all they had to do, D Mills was, I'm finna call you D Rose. All they had to do was
You
just
got all that Adidas on. Might as well be D Rose and a Chicago hat.
Yep. and he can lay it up. It can twerk his body.
Can twerk his body?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Ain't
Can
no
twerk,
D Mills
not
like
can twerk. Can twerk
Yeah.
his body. He can twerk his body while he lay it up in the dames. No draws.
I could do it in Adidas too. I mean, these Adidas. I could do it in anything.
Dames is Adidas.
Yeah.
So why you say I can do it in Adidas too?
I was more so just pointing at these.
Uh-huh.
Anything else about Kawhi?
I'm scared.
Yeah.
This could potentially, I don't want to put it in the air, but this could be it.
I don't want to say all that. I just want to say.
You don't?
I don't want to say that.
The last few times we've seen, I'll take that.
I don't want to say
I get
it,
what you're
but
saying. Yeah.
It also
I don't
doesn't
want to say
help-
that either.
It doesn't help that we just had all these conversations about injuries and Derrick Rose and like not knowing that this could be his greatest or last year that's elite.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about it a couple of pods ago, but it feels like he hasn't reached that same Toronto Raptor Kawhi. He's gotten close a couple of times, but it's just never been the same.
On a full, complete level, no. But we've seen the moments where that's still
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
Dallas Maverick series.
Yeah.
He was still being Kawhi.
The Phoenix Suns,
Phoenix
2
just gotta-
games.
Well, he just got he's as long as he's on the court, he's good. But you know the problem is him staying on the court.
Yeah, and with knee injuries, we've seen it. Your athleticism declines out there. Like you're not the same always consistently after you having so many.
Mm-hmm.
Your body can only take so many surgeries.
It's so crazy to me how when we talk about sports, the NBA, NFL, baseball, these dudes be getting surgery like it's a damn routine
You know
checkup.
what? When I was like younger, and this is just me being a kid or whatever, like I used to always see them like all these players are getting surgeries or whatever. And I used to think like, man, like I
Your
kind
head little.
It is
it
little.
definitely is. Like
Look at where my hat's snapping at.
I used to think when I
Small.
was a kid, like, man, I rolled my ankle. I don't have to get my ankle surgery. Because all you would hear is that's like players getting surgeries in the offseason.
So casually.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, by the way, Kawhi had a procedure.
just cleaned out all the stuff in his knee out.
That's how I felt when they
he's
said
back good to go.
CMC is going to Germany for stem cells. I'm like, wait a minute.
When I hurt my back, should I just be going in to get surgery?
But you know what's crazy? The craziest thing I ever heard that still make my knees hurt. They drained his knee. I be like,
Yeah.
Drained his knee of
What?
fluids. Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
one of my neighbors, y'all may have seen this tweet. I'm outside getting the mail, and he's walking around with like crutches and stuff. And I'm very cordial with my neighbors. I don't talk to them. I'll give them a head nod here or there. This is one of my neighbors that talks. He's a talker. So I knew he was going to say something. And I gave him a head nod. How you doing? He said, good. Other than this, and he points at his knee, and I, being a nice person, I say, oh, how you doing? What happened? He said, yeah, tore my Achilles. I'm like, wow. How'd you do
Doing
that?
What?
He said I was walking down the stairs. The
You know
motherfucker
what?
didn't fall. He wasn't jumping off nothing.
So John Wall one line.
Yeah, I guess John Wall one line.
But that's
It was
I was
John Wall,
Yeah, it
right?
was John Wall. I was walking down the stairs. And this is like, he might be 40. He's not an old guy necessarily. He's like 40 maybe. Achilles tear, going down
No,
the stairs of his own house.
Didn't you tell me?
Something else activated that, man. Something else activated
It was like
that.
he did the Kevin Durant dance and it was
Didn't
holding
you-
on by a thread.
Right, some-
Didn't you tell me that you was walking out the house one day, or like you kind of misstepped and you kind of like messed up your ankle?
Yeah, I tweaked my ankle.
I
rolled
tweaked
my
my
ankle.
ankle the other day.
I
You want to bring up shit?
No, because I
That, you
swear,
remind
like,
me of the dude when we had a flight home, that like later that day, and we was
Oh boy.
and he get to I was watching. I'm like, why would you say that?
Yeah.
You know we,
We
gotta
didn't
get on
want
the
to say
flight.
it because
For
people
sure.
listening might have to get on the flight, but
I feel like I've fell, I guess. So like something happened is just like
But I
it
don't
definitely hurt.
Mike, I don't think
It's hurt.
I think he was going down the stairs and his shit just popped.
He stepped on it wrong.
It just popped.
That's why I be telling people
New
like
fear, bro.
when we play, people always ask, man, y'all still be you still be hooping? And I be like, not as much, but it's not because I don't want to, but it's like I'd rather rent the gym out and hoop with y'all. Because it's like at this point in my life, it don't hold that much weight to me. I still love to play and compete, but like I can't afford to get a high ankle sprain or to tear Achilles over a game that was not, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I don't need to be coming into work on crutches talking about, man, I try to get this rebound. When we go hoop, I don't go for chase down blocks
That
that I
happened
used
to
to
me
go to
when I was
19.
hooping at Export. I'm
I'm not trying to dunk.
like I kept messing up my knee, and like I was working at Goodwill, so you have to stand the whole day, and it's just like, bro, I can't do this no more. Like, I wish I just never went to go hoop that day and just never mess my leg.
It's a tweet that's like, nothing is crazier than normal people tearing their ACL or something like that.
Nothing is crazier.
Yeah.
Nothing is crazier.
You don't have the same medical doctors as these NBA players and stuff. And that ACL tear really matters.
Tony-
NBA players eventually go out and hoop and stuff.
Tony tore her Achilles hooping. And I was like, yeah, that's my sign to take a huge step back because, like, it's just not worth me
Yeah,
going
it's
through that
not.
pain, the surgery.
Be sure to stretch when y'all go do stuff, y'all.
For real.
Just stretch.
With the,
before
one
and
of the
after.
last times we hooped in X, but not the last time, but I never forget, I was hooping and my Achilles was bothering me.
I would have
and-
sat my ass down.
And I was
right
playing.
there.
I was like, damn, like my Achilles, like what the
Yeah.
hell? And one of the older dudes was like, brother, it ain't worth it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you're right. Come in for me because it
Bro,
was
my
like,
shoulder still bother me to this day. My surgery was 10 years ago.
damn. I believe you because I tore a tendon and I
just
still
talking
get a little
to,
tight, but you popped your shit out
Yeah.
I was
Let's
just talking
show
about your
that.
surgery the other day
Yeah, that happens.
or yesterday.
because he be using
What?
chat, 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 chat,
I'm
chat,
not even
I
responding.
was
I'm
talking-
talking about when he flipping the spatula,
Yep.
cooking the burgers.
'Cause
I was
that's
talking
that's
about
what I do in my free time. Yeah.
that same day we went to YMCA and you messed up your shoulder because a big
What
part
were you
of
doing? You blocked the shot.
I
right?
was trying to block a
Oh,
shot.
oh,
I didn't
try.
even successfully.
Tyler's shot.
Tyler Hahn shot.
Yeah.
Okay, a shot that you didn't even have to block. He was gonna
Yes,
miss.
I did. Oh, it's true. And he did miss. So.
But anyway, a big part of that day, I remember you always saying like, man, I remember them calling the hospital or the ambulance for me, and that ambulance was expensive as hell.
It was like $6,000.
Whoa, I thought you were gonna say 600.
It was like
Yeah.
$6,000 to be in the ambulance when I could have just had somebody pick me up. It wasn't like I was dying. It was a
'Cause
shoulder pop.
I
And they
know-
didn't put it back in place for like 4 hours anyway.
Oh, that's crazy.
So I just got a free ride to the hospital.
What you
Hinsdale
was
Hospital.
doing in the back of it?
Screaming. That shit hurt.
Yeah. I
Did
just
y'all ride with him?
You
No,
weren't there,
yeah.
were you?
Mike was like, he'll be all right. Check up.
No,
up
because
top.
it was me,
Ball up top. is
Mason,
crazy.
and Tyler. I think were the other
What
people
made
there.
dudes say ball up top?
I don't know, but it's legendary. This is such a good caption.
I just saw a girl post a TikTok about how you had an ambulance. She apparently got emergency airlifted by a helicopter.
Oh,
Oh, that had to be
Oh,
what, 30 grand?
it was
16,000.
like 50 grand or something like that.
Ooh.
But was it life or death? Because in that point, I understand.
I
My
don't
shit's
know.
not like the
I
death.
feel like that's the only
I think
reason
she
they
was
would do
confused
that.
on why she got airlifted,
Mm.
but she was wondering. But she was stuck with the bill, and she was like, "Wow."
That's I'm thinking about like what did she have? Because again, if it's life threatening, then it's like okay.
And we got to get her.
But it's just
immediately,
like,
yeah.
I had rolled my ankle and they decided to do that because
I thought about that all the time when we were waiting for Avery to be born.
Yeah.
Because at that hospital has a helipad.
Oh, it does. Yeah. You
and
can
I
see
would
it.
like go get food and walk and be like, damn, people really get flown here from their injuries, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
yeah. Me and Dana always talk because we go to
Star Rock.
if you have an injury at Star Rock, you fall into one of those things. They're gonna have to airlift you.
Mm-hmm.
Because
No.
I don't think a bunch of people gonna carry you out.
Yeah, they're gonna have to airlift you, man. You would
Unless
have
they
to-
just have a group of strong men that's willing to.
yeah, you would just have to have the perfect situation. But
Get really unlucky and then lucky at the
Yeah.
next.
hell yeah.
Yeah. The next thing we got is Vince Carter's getting his number retired.
I love to see
Yeah.
players get emotional like that, man. Let it out. Get emotional. You spend people. The average human don't understand how much time goes into being as good as these guys are. I seen Giannis Antetokounmpo working out with Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey,
Mhm.
and he was making every shot. And these are the same shots that we look at him and like, Giannis ain't got that. But in the workout, because he's spending so much time, he was cashing and cashing and cashing and cashing and cashing, looking like a pro. And it's like, oh yeah, a guy who doesn't have a jump shot can casually go into the gym and make 100 out of 105.
Yeah.
This is a guy who doesn't have a jump shot, by the way.
You know what resonates with me a little bit is what Gilbert Arenas said. Like NBA players, you don't got really not much else to do except like stay out of trouble. So it's like there's a lot of players that's like you might as well work on your NBA craft.
Did you think about it the way, like, for our profession?
Yeah.
So that sounds crazy to say because we're fucking podcasting, but how much time do you have on a game? That time that you have on a game, Giannis is in the gym hooping. You know what I'm saying? Like getting
Yeah.
better at his
So
craft.
KB saying you should be.
Podcasting or
Yes.
watching film or reading articles and
he's going to refuse.
He a little different than me.
You don't want to be great.
You don't want to be the third greatest player in your sport.
You rather be who's on that depth chart?
I do want to say this.
Campaign.
I'd rather
Zach
be
Lowe-
Kyler Murray.
Zach Lowe getting fired made me want to be so much better at my job.
I know that came out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. And we don't have to spend time on it. But that just made me want it even more. And I already want it more than most people.
Mm-hmm.
That made me want it more than that, like ever. So be on the lookout. Small ball with Kenny Beecham starting soon.
You bringing Zach on there, right?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I will DM him. I'm going to let the thing. I mean, he just lost his fucking job. It's weird for me to be like, hey, Zach, you want to be doing my podcast, buddy?
How much you paying?
Right. Because I heard he was making 7 figures at his previous gig. I can't match that. But, hey, come do the show. But, yeah, Vince Carter getting his number retired is cool. People just love to complain. Oh, they should have got DeMar or Kyle Lowry first. They all are going to have their numbers retired. It don't fucking matter.
Derrick Rose getting the number
The
retired?
team would have moved if it wasn't for Vince Carter being on the team. And I know it didn't end well, right? I know that he went out there to do his thing and get his diploma, yada, 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 and they lost in that game 7 versus 76. I understand that. None of that shit is really relevant. When you ask all the Canadian players that are in the league right now, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Dylan Brooks, all of them will say Vince Carter is the reason I love basketball. Retire that man's jersey today, tomorrow. It don't fucking matter. 15 should never be worn again for the Raptors, and it won't.
I like it because now they got 2 more pending that they're going to retire too.
Mhm.
So like the next six years or so, there's going to be a few more jerseys to go up in the Raptors.
Yep, and the Raptors for the Raptors.
Yes.
The last thing I have, and it's not even really a story, the Celtics did their media day. I don't know if y'all saw this.
Jaylen Brown beard.
Jaylen Brown
no beard. Yeah.
has a beard, new ciggies, and he's strong as shit. Like, he looks like he put on 12 pounds of muscle.
That's all that lifting those dumbbells under the water.
It goes a long way. And then Jason Tatum said this. I talked to Joe Mazzulla a lot. Joe is probably the happiest person in the world that I didn't win Finals MVP and didn't play in 2 of the games in the Olympics. It was odd, but if you know Joe, it makes sense.
I love it. I love it because I think what Joe's going at, the angle he's saying is that he wants Tatum to be even more hungry. He wants him to come in with that. He don't want him to get comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
If he wins that Finals MVP and he goes out and he has this crazy Olympics, he might get comfortable. Joe is saying, hey, I want you to still come out there with that edge. Come out there and be hungry. Go out there, play like you got something to prove and silence all your critics. That's all he's going at.
Because if you get Finals MVP and you get a gold medal, it's like only thing else to really play for is like an MVP award eventually. And only a small percentage of NBA players get that. So now you can still go, hey, you want to Finals MVP? All right, this year, go work for that. You want to be the star player on Team USA in 4 years? Go get that. And like you said, Joe Mazzulla is a fucking sicko, bro. Like, any interview I watch of him, I'm like, I love basketball. This motherfucker, like, you talk about live, sleep, breathe. That's what he does.
Mm-hmm.
And he has such a very unique way of approaching being a leader of a team that's somewhat rubbed off on Charles Lee, because I've watched a lot of Charles Lee interviews because I'm excited about the Charlotte Hornets. Their personalities are so similar, and I wonder if that had to do with the 2 to 3 seasons that they were together as assistants, and then now the 1 year is Mazzulla being the head coach. But
I mean, you see what works, man. Like when you're in that same room and you get to see the energy and you kind of learn. I don't think there's any better learning than like experience and being in that room.
Yeah.
So
We should hire a chef.
We should though. We got to turn the room in there into like a little kitchen.
He can be or right here, because I
no,
swear.
that room's taken.
No, right here. That's not even a room.
Oh, you meant the little kitty corner.
Yeah, right there.
That's where Mike having his podcast.
No, he ain't talk to me about it.
It's called High Life. Highlights.
Right there. I would love to see Mike do a podcast by himself.
Give me 2 minutes of what a podcast will look like as you as the only host.
I don't know what that would look like.
Nice try.
What would you try to talk about outside of basketball?
New strands.
Things going on in my life.
New strands.
Actually,
What's going on in your life?
I would look.
Give us a 3-minute segment. Here, you talk for the next 3 minutes all by yourself. About whatever you want to talk about.
Well, recently, ain't nothing I really want to talk about.
Come on, bro. Derrick, give us a podcast of Derrick Miller.
2 minutes.
2 minutes?
All I'm saying is 120 seconds. Y'all are professional podcasts, and y'all can't give me a 2 minute.
We've seen you go on rants for longer than 2 minutes before.
Non-basketball. Or, matter of fact, whatever you want to talk about. I'm sorry.
It's your show.
What's poppin', y'all? It's y'all main man, D Millen. We
The
back
intro.
with another great food review. I'm joking.
It's a food review show.
But no, yeah.
Podcast.
I'm
Audio.
joking.
You can't even see the food.
We're not talking about food today. We're going to talk about life. We're going to talk about life in general. So recently, I was watching a show called Pop the Balloon to Find Love, right?
I love this. You got me. I'm pulled in already.
Group of nice, beautiful young women up there, black queens. Young man walks in, nice, fresh braids.
You can't talk. He's on the podcast. You can't talk.
See, I stopped myself.
He walks in looking nice, handsome, well put together. I thought this was very interesting. All the women popped. They all popped their balloon before this man could say one word. Little did they know.
Are they queens? A queen
This-
wouldn't do that.
This young man owns his own business.
Mm.
He gives back to the black community. He writes Disney books and Disney stories. He's involved in a lot with young black men because he wants to show them that they are loved even if their father aren't around. Like there's still like hope for them. Like that's his message. All the women are sitting there looking distraught. Like they look a little like, oh, one woman actually did say, I want my balloon back. She ended up getting her balloon back, and I was very surprised he walked out with her. Because in my mind, I'm thinking like, damn, all y'all popped because y'all said my fit wasn't on point.
Oof.
That was the reason a lot of them popped, and I was
You
just
related to that?
like, no,
This is a podcast. You can't talk to him.
yeah. And I'm just sitting here just like, where's the word going to where a nice, handsome young man has this group of women look at him without hearing his story, his background, or nothing, and they create this judgment of him to where they like, boom.
Time. What? Now it's not a podcast. What was he wearing?
He was wearing a very. Go ahead.
He was wearing a nice like button-up little polo type thing, tucked in his jeans. And
Nothing bad about the outfit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a regular fit.
Professional fit.
Yes.
Okay.
He didn't have a shiesty on.
You know, I like when they got the
He didn't
shiesty.
have. His polo wasn't Gucci down.
Mm.
That's what they be looking for on that show. And let me not say that they need a shiesty on because some of those women were older in that particular thing, but they definitely be looking for some sign of some money.
I still haven't.
And that's why I'm like, a guy like him
Taking the
should
time
never
to
have
watch
been on
it.
that show. If that's really what he was going for, he shouldn't have been on the show. No. The woman he looking for is not on the show talking about where my man at. What you gonna do for me? That's what they be saying. What you gonna do for me? I be like, what the hell? You just met him. But if he went up to every one of them women and said, what y'all finna do when we get back to this telly? He'd be wrong. He'd be wrong. And they up there, what were some of the things that they were saying? Because they asked him, like, damn, why y'all pop the balloons?
They was mainly saying his fit and that he really wasn't that attractive to them sometimes.
And
In
he
a way.
wasn't that attractive either. I've seen this show. They've had better.
They have had better. It
But
was,
though
I would listen to that podcast.
I like that one a little bit more. The young ones be stupid.
yeah, no, that
The
was
young ones
yeah.
literally be like, what's up? What can you do for me? They be
Yeah.
straightforward
And that's
with
so
it.
crazy for you to be young at that age and be like, let me go try this out to find my
I'll never
one
watch
love.
I will only watch that one.
Yeah,
just
the
'cause
young
it's
ones be
mature,
just a waste of
and
time.
it's like more people our age who's actually, at least some of them trying to look for love. It do seem like some people on there do go in there to try to promote their business
Yeah.
or whatever, but like,
That'd be the other part of it. Like, again, a guy like him should have been on there because it's not as genuine. People, you're right. People do be looking for moments to go viral, if we just being honest.
yeah.
But now that you've seen him do it, can you give us 120 seconds?
You gave us about 4 minutes, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I don't really feel like it. I don't want to do no because
Motherfuckers just turned into SpongeBob.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I can talk about. I've been reading it. I just finished my last book.
Talk
Okay.
about whatever you want to
Book
talk about
show.
for 120 seconds.
It's pretty. You could get a deep with a book review.
Yes.
You can even personally relate to the book. Like there's some.
I don't relate to the book because I'm not. It's more like I like mystery books and horror books, and so like I think that comes from just like I always like to show like Law and Order and stuff like that, and that's like to my mom because that's what just she had on. So I always got into that type of stuff, but I don't know. It's not like it's more so like you have to read the book because it's gonna have like a bunch of twists and turns. Not like I could just be like, okay, this is what happens. It's gonna make a bunch of sense.
Well, you're supposed to get like a little spark note of the book and like.
Yeah, because I'm never going to read the book.
Not a chance.
Basically, so
But I will say Mike is off with story time.
I am. So
I
I'm gonna try to
see.
do my best. I'll do my
See,
best.
you don't even know where to start.
I'll do my best to give a little summary.
That's all we ask is your best.
There's a woman in jail. She's a former detective.
Uh-huh.
How she ends up in jail is kind of lost because it's probably from the previous books, but she's in jail. She killed somebody. Like she got revenge and killed somebody, so she in jail. One of her former like bosses or head like people in charge came to her and was like, I can get you out of jail. I'm part of the reason I put you in jail, but you so good as a detective, I want you to get out because my daughter is missing. So he gets out of jail and he gets a little band. They're a little band together. It's like 3 detectives, and it's basically all about them solving the case of the missing daughter. The missing daughter, she wasn't really missing. She was just kind of like a drug addict, and she kind of escaped.
Oh, that was the twist that she wasn't missing. I don't know if that even counts as a twist.
It goes a lot deeper, but again, it's so many twists and so much stuff to explain.
How was the person going to help her get out of jail?
He's like,
I think he just did a good old prison break.
no, he's not. He's like the head of like some police department, so I guess he had the leverage to get her out.
Oh,
But even once they eventually did solve the case, and he was really happy, so he kept her out of jail because the whole thing was like,
Who the fuck is he, the president?
I don't
what's
know.
crazy?
His whole thing
I think about that stuff a lot recently.
about
like,
what?
How much power do like certain celebrities have to where like they are like protected to where they're not going to jail for certain stuff that they probably have done?
Wait, say that one more time? Because I feel
How
like
certain celebrities might be protected.
yeah,
like,
I mean
by-
that's definitely a thing. Because I mean, money's gonna rule everything, honestly.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be
Because like
case,
all it takes, like I don't know, like certain stuff that has happened recently. I'm just like, damn, it's been going on for that long and nobody's done anything. or
Like
said-
what?
you
Like
talking
the
about
Diddy situation.
yeah.
Like I'm just like they knew everybody's known it's been going on for 20 plus years, but no one's done anything or said anything, and like it's now they're hitting him with everything, and I'm just like, damn, he deserves it, rightfully so. But like, what did he do wrong to some people to where now they unprotected him and China's made him fair game?
He probably didn't pay him. I think.
I haven't
Well,
kept
I mean,
up
we
with
don't even
the
got to go too deep
situation.
into it, but I think there was a lot of like people were bribing him, and like they were saying like
Or he was bribing people.
Yeah, he was bribing people. Yeah,
either way, it was a lot of money involved, and I don't think somebody was getting paid.
I don't know.
I haven't
It's
kept
such
up
a.
with it.
I feel like that higher up billionaire celebrity is like a weird area where they kind of are like protected in a way.
Yeah,
Definitely. Because
Yeah, I
money
mean,
talks.
Yeah,
when you in that top 1%, like not even top 1%, it's like point
Yeah.
yeah.
something. Like you're gonna have that
Because you're in the top 1%.
because I mean, most of the time, who are you also like? Who are you in company with? You're probably in company with that other like point
Yeah.
whatever percent, and
Diddy
they
ain't
have
walking
nothing
into
but
Trader
connection.
Joe's with us.
Yeah.
Sorry.
y'all going to Trader Joe's after this?
No, I went yesterday.
Okay.
I might go today.
I'm trying to think
It's
if
like
I
a
got
field
anything
trip.
Good.
'Cause
when
I
I
got
last
the. I
seen
got
Okay,
the
wait. We can't
blueberry-
do a Trader Joe's segment on every episode.
I got a blueberry pomegranate green tea.
Elena might like that. She be loving green teas.
People was going crazy about it.
Oh wait, are you talking about the can?
No, it's in a glass bottle.
Oh, they do have the can teas too. Like I've tried those. Those are pretty
I almost
solid.
had a heart attack last time I went to Trader Joe's. I went to the chip aisle. I looked at the Takis. They was not there.
Dang.
They was all, but
Oh,
it's
you
like,
tried the Takis? Are they
yeah,
good?
yeah, I like, yeah, they're really
Pit.
good.
I'm going to Trader Joe's
They was
for
at the
that.
bottom.
I'm getting a bag and walking out.
They were at the bottom, but they were like all in the back, so you could tell people don't do nothing but grab the Takis.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's enough Trader Joe's. That's just sponsor.
Shout out to TJ's.
Oh, that's damn. They got Nick. They got Shorty.
TJ, that's what I call them. Everybody be like, come on,
Who the
let's
hell
head
is,
to
who is
TJ's.
Joe?
I don't know.
Anything else that y'all want to refer to on this episode?
Not really. Not that I could think of.
Is
I'm happy with the fall. It's starting to look beautiful.
Me too. It
I
looked
love
real
fall.
nice, bro.
I love the fall.
The
It's-
wind was strong yesterday.
It was. It's just when you're in Chicago, I don't know if it's like this everywhere, but our falls are like short. Like when we do get fall, it's like real quick. Then it's right to the snow. Like it's no like really
think
like
so?
quick break.
I feel like I feel like the snow be coming in late. Like it'll come in
Yeah,
January.
it's some
It's-
years they
Some
does
It be
years,
coming in
like,
late
It's been
sometimes.
years where it snowed on Halloween. Like that's how
Yeah,
that's
that's
true.
how fast it.
That's true.
That's how short our falls
Yeah, I want to
can
go
be.
to a pumpkin patch soon.
Oh,
I want
for
some
sure.
more apple cider donuts and just the whole
You
experience.
gonna go to the one we went to?
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
Some
Austin
apple
was-
cider donuts be decent.
Yeah, I forgot the
Oh.
name of that.
I'll send it to you unless you don't want people to know.
I don't know if
I
it was
could
that
care
same
less.
place, but we went to a place that had them.
Why was Kyron doing that the other day?
What?
We were
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about something. He was talking in code about people's tacos.
Oh, West, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's so
It's called Gober's Pumpkin Patch
Oh,
in
okay.
like But there's two. We accidentally went to the wrong one last year. It's the one in Spring Tree. Make sure you go to that one.
Oh, well, we went to the right one when we went.
Yeah, we went to the right one,
Yeah.
but we went to the one that's like closer. It's like in like Hoffman, like near Hoffman Estates area, I think. It's still nice. It's still very nice.
The one we went to is unmatched. I got to go to that one.
Yeah.
That one was.
It was definitely a different vibe, but it was.
We went through the haunted house.
Yeah. Apparently they've added some new stuff,
Okay.
so it's gonna be very intricate.
That was one of me and KB's first
There's
times we went out.
That was
we
the
went
first
to a
date.
haunted house.
You
First
about to
date.
say date?
Yep.
He was
exactly what he was
And he
like
had to
gearing
pause.
up for.
It's like KB mad. KB
I
mad.
still got the
We were like
picture.
freshmen in high school. We went to
Y'all probably in one of them pictures, and everybody in that one big bed together. Y'all in the background talking about stuff.
We went to Statesville.
Yeah, his dad took y'all.
Yeah, that's when his dad gave me that conversation. He was like, man.
Oh, you protect my son.
Nah, he ain't, he ain't say that. He said, he was like, man.
I love saying shit to Mike because Mike would say he ain't say that. No shit.
He was like, you and KB is good to see y'all friends. Y'all real good friends. But
Hold up.
his whole point was like, he's saying like after school, it's like a high chance we just won't know each other.
Yeah, I don't
something
know
like
why
that.
he was being a
I don't know
downer.
why he was saying
Y'all
that.
friends now, but after high school, y'all might never talk again.
And on some real shit though, that's the type of
Yeah.
stuff I be telling my sister. I don't.
I just feel like it's a time and a place for that. Not while we enjoying a haunted house and we at the drive-through or
I don't
some
think
restaurant.
parents. I don't think parents think about that. I think they just.
that's real shit though. I'm gonna
just-
tell my
yeah.
kids the same because
But hey, I mean, it worked, right?
yeah, because it would make you not take the moment for granted. Because that's a reality that, hey, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't have an older sibling. My parents told me, and when sometimes your parents say you shit, you just like, whatever, y'all old. But like, yeah, it's a lot of people that I don't talk to no more
for
at
sure.
all. Don't know what they're doing, how they look. And I see them on Facebook, I'm like, damn, you look different. And you couldn't tell that they wasn't my dog.
Yeah, I remember.
So it's
I was
real.
telling y'all somebody had invited. Well, obviously, like all of us, but like they were texting me. They said that they were having a little like high school get together, like reunion, and I was like, oh yeah, I might come, but like I have no intention to go. Like I don't really care. You know what
I
I'm
could
saying?
not
Like,
care less about what people of high school are doing.
and I think
We had a high school year. I thought about pulling up. It's just that.
it's the best, and I feel like it's just kind of like how we can do it too, because all of our friends group from high school, we're just still friends, basically.
yeah, we can just hang out together. We
Yeah.
don't really care about
Yeah.
the person we had chemistry with 12 years ago. Like, could not
Yeah,
care less
I
about
follow like the Hens Stuff alumni page, and like they be talking about like who do we contact about the 30-year anniversary, and like I'll be like, damn,
that. Old
there's
ass.
like alumni and they still go to the 30-year, the 40, and I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
y'all.
I didn't care
into
about
it.
high school enough to want to see those people again 10 years later.
Yeah, I didn't care about high school or don't care about high school that much, but I would go. I'm not moving shit around is what I'm not.
Why that
doing.
alumni page ain't post us yet?
I don't know.
I don't know.
What is that a post?
They post anytime someone does something huge, like
Oh,
Emil Wakim, he just got picked up by SNL, which is amazing.
Oh.
He got posted, and you just go through the history. Somebody
I don't
won an
know.
archery
Shout out to my
tournament.
boy Emil.
Nah,
I don't
like,
know,
that's
'cause I got more
huge, bro.
pull. I had more pull in his stuff than anybody that they post, especially Mr. Joaquin. And I rock. That's my dog.
Yeah.
I did
But
watch his newest special and laughed.
He was good. He's been doing that for a long time.
for a
Yeah,
very
right.
long time.
Yes, yes.
You know,
And it's funny because he was not funny to me when we was in school. He wasn't like a comedian dude. He was. He
I
played
think
like
when I
sports
first
and stuff.
he played
when
on
I
the ball.
first heard it,
Yeah.
he hooped. He
Yeah.
hooped.
Shout out.
SNL was like
Shout
that's
out to
one of
him.
the
No,
biggest
that's one of
plays
like
you
the
could do.
biggest.
The two things I love about him. His dad name is Pierre.
Mhm.
And his
I never
sister,
knew that.
He used to have a crush on the sister in high school, Andrea. She's happily married now. We grown. I got my own situation going. I ain't married yet, but
You could say that and I feel bad.
no. But yeah, I used to have a big crush on Andrea.
A lot of people that end up on SNL stay there for either a long time or have like gigs afterwards that are huge. So
yeah.
it's a big monumental moment for him.
Shout out to all the little homies that ends up. So I had a lot of crushes on some of the little homie sisters. Shout out to one Paul King supposed to manage you
I remember that.
or something like that.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, you remember what I'm talking about?
I
though?
know what you're
Yeah.
referring to. Yeah.
Yeah, he used to have a crush on his sister.
I say he doing.
Shout something with like U of. He was going to U of I. to
Yeah. I think he was
manage
going to be like
basketball players
a
or
sports
something.
management or something like that.
Maybe he
was
wasn't there
getting
to
into.
manage you, but it was something.
I'm sure you got the messages.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Paul Keene or something.
Not sure.
Something with managing or something. But yeah, why don't they post us?
I don't know.
Maybe it's because we don't. Maybe it's because we don't go to the reunions and shit.
Maybe.
We got too many detentions.
I'm damn sure not
Yeah,
talking.
My 1 or 2. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I
I
have
know
one.
you got at least one. D Mills, how many you got? Because I probably got at least like 10 to 15.
Yeah, I definitely.
For
have.
what?
Mine was mainly
Just
for,
being
I got like
parties,
5 for being
doing
late.
dumb
I
stuff
probably
in
got
class.
5 for being late. I got 1 for being late. I got 1 for senior skip day, ditch day,
I did get one for that.
and I got 1
And you
because
actually went to school that day, so it was he came out
lame
at
as lame as hell.
He went to school and had detention.
Lame as.
And it was a Saturday detention.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
It wasn't
Y'all
that
had to
bad.
The
come there as a
whole
group.
senior class was in there.
Didn't they eventually just let us leave too?
Don't even remember.
I'm not in the same senior year.
Oh,
They
I think I
they
remember
called
this
your
as-
OG.
yeah.
What they say?
No, my mom
I'm
called
about
the
to go
school.
in this episode.
He said he called my mama. They
Yo,
said-
mama called the
Oh,
school.
your mama called them. Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I was like, "What is senior ditch day like real?" Because I told her I didn't have to go to school because it was senior ditch day, and she called and was like, "Does Derrick not need to be in school today because it's senior ditch day?" And they were like, "No, Derrick does."
This sound like South Park, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Sound like South
And
Park.
that's exactly how that happened.
I
And
told my mama we not going to school.
I definitely went to school.
You did?
Yeah.
Lame man.
Because he didn't go to prom, so it's like
Yeah, so
there was
it's
no reason
Lame
not to.
man. Come get a day. He said, KB, want to go there? KB said, I'm going with some Zane.
Only
Me
thing
and
I
I said, damn, I'm
The
Me,
only
out.
KB,
thing
and John
that-
was the only ones that went. Everybody else didn't go.
That's the only reason I wish I would have went to see John in that flat top. No, it's not even a flat top.
No,
he
he
had
had
his
a
hair
perm.
He just
cracked.
straightened his. No, he
John
didn't have
had
a
a-
perm. He just straightened his
He
hair.
straightened his hair.
He did
He
not
came
perm.
up there looking
He
like the
straightened his
tall,
hair.
dark,
What was
handsome
y'all?
SpongeBob,
I mean, what
but
was
he
y'all?
had prom.
What was your prom at?
The Drake.
Yeah, the Drake Hotel.
In Oakbrook?
No,
the one
Downtown? For the say they
Yeah.
did y'all dirty. Say, get on this bus. We're going up the street.
I don't remember anything from it other than going to the bathroom and seeing people doing pills.
That was it?
Yeah.
There
My
was
day
Yeah, you
said
know what's-
people
I don't
doing
know- Something that's not
cocaine.
Pepsi.
I'm
I
like,
don't
what the
remember
hell?
anything from it. I was trying. I only thing I remember is going to the boat.
Maybe I took some of
Oh,
those
so you
pills.
went to Navy Pier then? If it was
Yeah.
boat.
Yeah.
That's where I was.
And that was
at.
awful because it was rainy and
It was cold.
And it was cold.
cold.
Yeah.
Nobody did anything on that boat.
Who you went with a date?
No.
You went with Suzanne?
I didn't
ain't-
have nobody I wanted to
You just had a
ask.
bunch of crushes. Boy, you had a balls. This D-Mills going with somebody though. Who, me?
Yeah, I'm talking about I ain't had nobody I wanted to ask.
You had the bad. Remember you was talking about the baddest girl in high school?
All right, can we please end the episode?
No.
This is way too much high school. Nobody is.
They love this shit. You don't love this
I
shit.
hate talking about high school.
Mr. Why? Because you had them big ass
Because it was 12 years ago.
It's shit funny. We was all lame as hell and ugly and weird looking and
We
shit.
definitely went up to Darien Fest talking about we finna
Yes.
slide on some
Yeah,
girls.
hell
We slide
yeah.
on nothing.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. High school, yeah. Now, if we was up here talking about we was the man, then we would be dumb. But it's funny to look back on it. I was like, I was lame as hell. Talking about,
Yeah.
I like her.
I'm
Go
lame
say
as-
something to her. No.
Who did I say was the baddest girl? Do y'all
We
got
gonna
hit?
tell you afterwards. 'cause you should definitely know.
yeah. Because it's going to be somebody that probably wasn't that fucking bad.
Derrick. I mean, Pierre. Not probably wasn't. I'm not. I'm sorry.
Oh, man. Shout out to high school, man. Shout out to high school for the one time.
Y'all,
I'm so
y'all
glad.
went to high school.
I went to school
I
high.
went to school.
I'm so glad my greatest years is now. Because there's some
Yes.
people we went to high school with that was
They
and I
peaked.
was homecoming king. A lot of people was like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, that's my proudest moment. I'm so glad homecoming king is not my
So you beat the odds.
elite level. That's some shit that I forget about.
You beat the odds.
I beat the odds, but I know one thing. I go to a reunion, it better be a bag waiting for me. That's an appearance. I need $5K. I
Well,
know
look
they
at-
got it because they made that new pool. That was some millions of dollars. So $5K bag and we'll pop up.
Well, looking back on how they treat him, I might have to make everybody go through security clearance.
No, I wasn't lame in high school. That sounded like somebody who was lame in high school.
Drake.
He really tried to do it too. He really tried to say it.
Drake my mans, but I think I was a little bit better in high school with the pool.
Imagine going. You do want to go, but there is somebody like him who makes everybody go through security clearance and they checking bags and all that. That sounds annoying. That would probably make people not want to go.
Sound like it might be safe then. If they checking back.
True.
Be sure to leave a like on the episode if you enjoyed it. Let us know what you think about the Julius Randle, Karl-Anthony Towns trade, Derrick Rose retirement, Kawhi Leonard's knee, Jason Tatum.
Let
and
us
Joe
know if you want to
Mazzulla.
see pictures of KB from high school. I
They out there.
go get my yearbook and pull up all the headshots. It's
I
somewhere in
actually
my
had
mom's
some.
house.
I have some really good yearbook pictures.
What's your yearbook quote?
Did we do those?
Hey,
though?
we didn't do that.
You didn't have one?
Select
No.
people had to
Oh.
be asked that.
Oh,
You ain't had one either.
you're right.
Hey, please, in the episode. What was your in the